Sam has kindly left breakfast hanging around in the fridge. You can find various cold meats and cheeses.
Did you say cold cuts?
Yeah, cold meat, cold cheeses,
Alright, I'm taking
fruit.
the pack of salami and I'm leaving.
Beautiful. Nice tray of salami in the fridge. Off you trot with it.
Awfully rude today, aren't we?
Why's that rude? You weren't grabbing it.
I haven't even started grabbing anything.
Yeah, but you didn't grab it.
I think you've grabbed enough today.
I didn't grab anything except the salami.
Shall we go back to my room?
Welcome along to Sogravia, the Last Bastion, Chapter 2, Episode 5. Today I have playing with me Lavi.
Hello, I am Lavi. I will be playing Lusk, the Changeling Warlock Bard.
I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing William Hale, aka Vardy, who is a mind sorcerer who's ready to play chess.
I have Kira. Sorry,
Hello, I'm Kira. No problem. You forgot my name. It's all good.
No, I'm having a bit of an issue doing something.
And I'll be playing Luvon, Shadakai, Bladesinger, and hopefully a new and budding owner of a franchise.
True enough. True enough. Lastly, I have Moon.
Hello, I'm playing Torian Bloodstorm. I am a warlock. Currently playing as Cassandra and figuring out what kind of job I want in my life.
Oh, shit. That's what I'm missing. Your character's not on the screen. Where is it? Oh, it's gonna go down there. Ugh.
Also spent half this episode trying to remember how to talk like him.
I'm really sorry. I completely forgot that I didn't have this up today, and I don't know where the image is for fucking
Torian.
Torian. There we go. It's because I've labelled it as Tory prick.
Just Moon, just talk like Ack. That'll be fine.
Oh yeah, that'll be great. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I fucking hate this shit. Can't somebody just do this for me? Okay, yay. Let's begin.
Need my picture again?
No, I have it. You're on the screen.
Okay.
So we begin at early morning. On the Thursday morning. Ruby is headed out to work straight away. But leaves a small pouch on the table. There is 8,000 rubles. You may split between you. Lavi, that's fine. You're not going to need it for quite a while. We start with 8,000 between 5 of you, so whatever that is. Some number. 1,600 each? There you go. You didn't get any money because you were too busy dying. Get over it. We start with Luvon.
Sorry, is that in gold?
Rubles are gold, yes.
Okay, great.
Josh is newer to the campaign and is getting used to the fact that gold isn't gold. We'll never do it again, I promise. But we start with Luvon.
I still don't go on that.
You are woken by Ruby knocking on the door. Sam is. Knocks at the door and says, I've left what you asked for in the fridge. Your work starts at 9:30.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll get up and go see my new ride, I guess.
Have fun. Good luck. However, as you are getting out of bed, Luvon, you're a little uncoordinated. Maybe you had a late night last night and you put your hand on something sharp on the side. It's just a splinter of wood. You take 3 points of piercing damage. Also, somebody didn't take a long rest from last night.
Oh, me? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it's you.
No.
No, okay.
That reminds me though,
Mm-hmm.
Orion, I ransacked your bedroom last session.
Oh, I'm getting there. And so we come to William Hale. William, you slept where last night?
In my house.
You slept in your home. You didn't come to stay with the Shadow.
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, we left off in my study, right? And I was reading the divination book. I would have finished reading that and then gone home, made something to eat, maybe something light like scrambled eggs, and then I would have gone to bed and continued reading the Lusty Argonian, and then eat one off to it, and then slept.
Lovely. Well, post such a lovely evening. You wake up early in the morning, approximately 8 a.m., and you know that you have a class at 9 o'clock. So we will send you off to the Mage Study.
Yes, I will quickly. Do we have showers? No, probably not.
You have something akin to showers.
Okay, I will bathe.
Yeah, it's
Have a
basically. No. It's a lot simpler than that. You guys would have this, and William, but most people don't. This is a tool by which water flows down into a hole and then comes back through, pulled with magic. So
It's just continuously the same dirty water.
no, you have to fill it with cold water, in the first place, and then it will just wash you. It'll keep streaming around.
Cold? Oh, I don't know about
Oh
that.
yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna be cold.
Okay, great. I will have a cold shower, get dressed, and head out to work.
Okay. And as you do so, you see a fat gentleman coming towards you. You recognize this gentleman. You know this to be a Shadowrun. Actually, no, you have. Well, okay, let's cut this really straight. Was Avis in the campaign when you joined?
Yeah.
Who?
No, you replaced him, right?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So when you
No, I
first
would've-
arrived,
But technically, he was
I
there
did,
on the day he
because-
left.
but he wasn't.
Yeah, I was there when
wasn't-
he was like,
He was in
Deuces.
Shadow Veil form. Okay, so you don't recognize this person. And he comes up and greets you, holding a pastry, and a tray upon a tray, and he says, "Oh, well, good morning."
"Good morning. How are you?"
Very well, thank you. And then he extends his hand with the pastry, and he says, "The odds are against us all." And you know that this is the code word to meet with the Shadow Veil in Jester. So he's basically telling you, "I'm Shadow Veil. Take this."
Okay, I will take said thing,
Mhm.
and as I do, I will raise one eyebrow, like so. I'll show it. And say, "Odds are against you, brother. Never against me."
Perhaps. Well, enjoy your breakfast. And as you take this pastry, below the pastry is a small piece of paper with a note on it.
But I will read the note.
Yeah, and as you look at the note, it is written in the oh, somebody help me! I can never remember what fucking language you people speak. Netherese. There we go. Thank you.
Netherese.
I never remember the
Shadow
Shadowvale language. It's written in Netherese, and it quite simply says, "Killian has fallen. An advantage can be taken."
Oh, having to write and roleplay is hard. I will read said note, fold it up, and then as I walk through the town, do I walk past, let's say, a blacksmith?
Why? Just go bigger. We'll find out in a second. When I can get the map to the right size. There we go. This is so much technical. To be honest, you should be able to see it by looking at your own map, which is far larger than mine. But regardless, you will walk via wooden nails, which is a not so much a blacksmith as it is a sort of spare parts place.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. I was I was thinking, would I walk past one of those big fire pits that you know?
As you get through the main gate into the noble quarter, if you were to then take a left, you could then walk past the Silver Sword, which is truly a blacksmith.
Okay, and is that thing like outside or is it inside?
It's very much
A
outside.
furnace.
Yes.
Okay, great. I will then thus take a detour on my way to work, and as I walk past the pit, I will toss the note in.
Yep, I mean, it's a fairly direct path. You walk up here, and then you take a left, you walk past the Silver Sword, and then instead walk up here. Between the Landsmiths and the Merrybows, and you get to the Mage's Arcane. And when you arrive, everything seems quiet. An apprentice comes up to you. You don't know their name. Then you merely know them as an acolyte.
Okay.
Not deeply.
Would I recognize it as one of my students?
They're not students. Acolytes are non-mages that perform administrative tasks within the Mage's Arcane, such as greeting visitors,
Okay,
and
so
telling
like
adepts that they all adepts are required to go to the temple this morning for the ceremony for Master Killian. And he hands you a small pouch.
Okay, I will nod, say thank you, acolyte. I will be there shortly, and then as he walks away, I will open said pouch.
And you will roll a d100.
Will I?
By the way, the baker you met was Jeff the Baker.
Yes.
For insight for the others, Jeff the Baker was a body that was used by Avis before he left. You may assume now that one of the people who work in the taverns within Justern is also using Jeff the Baker's body. It is no longer in your fridge.
Around.
Yes, it is no longer in your freezer. Roll a d100 for me.
I got 88.
88, the crazy 88. Well, that's interesting. I don't know how this is in a small pouch. That's what I've got for you. I have no idea how this is in a pouch whatsoever. So instead, what you will find is inside the pouch is a note.
Well, the pouch could be a small bag of holding.
It would have to be a house of holding. Instead, there is a note in the pouch saying you have a delivery in your office.
Great. What a useless thing to have in a bag.
Yeah. I wasn't prepared for it to be 12 by 12 foot.
Okay, then I will, before going to... Where was I going to?
Huh?
The hall I was going to?
Yeah, you need to go to the temple.
Oh, the temple, sorry. Yeah, before I head on to the temple, I will quickly, briskly, fast walk to my office to quickly see what Amazon has delivered for me.
Okay, and when you arrive there, you see an adamantine box, approximately 3 by 3 foot, and it has a handle on the top that can be opened. On top of which is a note that says, "Upon gaining my new office, I no longer had need of this. I hope that you find it useful. Fleur."
I will open the box.
Okay, it's not necessarily opening the box, it's more pressing the lever. When you
press
the
lever.
Yeah, when you press the lever, this opens out into a 12 by 12 foot bathroom. It is made of adamantine. It is, yes, you should definitely pull the lever, not press it. It is made of adamantine, and it is 8 foot high and 12 by 12 foot. I have no idea how it's opened up in your office, but we're just going to roll with it.
So what you're telling me is that I've got a portable bathroom.
It is Dan's instant privy. Inside is a water closet, a bidet, a bath, a shower, hot and cold running water. It has a lockable door, a small crescent-shaped hole in to peer out with, and despite its silliness, it's actually quite useful.
That's great.
Is it Mona? Is it you that has this in Milton, or is it Dan?
It's either me or Dan that has that.
Okay,
I think Dan may have gotten it and given it to me.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that is great because it means I can finally have a fucking hot bath. Obviously this isn't something I'd be able to do now. Would I be able to hire some builders, some local builders, to take out my bathroom in my house and install this
You
box.
could, or instead, you could have a bathroom at work.
How? I can't put it anywhere.
It's a 3x3 foot box that opens up to an extra dimensional space.
Oh, so it's like the TARDIS.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, then great. Then
I'll say that it just sort of opens through the wall. Yeah.
Okay, then great. I will mage hand a bookshelf out of the way and put it up against said wall so that I can.
Mage hands, renowned for being able to move bookcases.
My mage hand is.
It might be invisible, but I believe it's 30 pounds of weight.
I can shove with my mage hand.
You can, but I believe it says 30 pounds of weight. But that's fine. We'll allow it for today because all you're doing is moving furniture.
It doesn't. It just says that I have to make a strength check.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't say how many checks away.
Okay, I can allow it. But regardless, you can move the bookshelf out the way and yeah, make use
I will. Prop it up, and then I will head to the temple. Oh shit! I should have done something before I got to work. Never mind. I'll do it later.
It says the hand cannot carry more than 10 pounds. Sorry, not 30.
Yeah, that's carry.
Yeah. You can carry 10 pounds. You probably can't push a bookshelf, but we'll go with it. Regardless, anyway. So you move the shelving around to install your bathroom, and you are wanted at the temple.
Yes, and I will go straight there.
Okay. And we will come back to you shortly. Cassandra, Losk, Torian, Cassandra, which one are we going to call you? We're going to call you Torian. Torian and
You're not gonna
Losk.
call me lost.
No, Torian and Losk.
Okay.
Both of you are waking up. It's approximately 9 a.m. as nobles do. Actually, would Losk wake up at 9 a.m. or would he sleep in, having been out late last night?
I mean, he keeps himself very well kept together, so probably around 9.
Yeah, okay, so the two of you are waking. And you've got the house to yourselves. And there is a package that Ruby has left upon the table for Losk, with your name on it. It doesn't actually say Losk, it says Shimakobe.
Monkey Brain says open package.
Yep, so this gives details of where your new home is, which you will find in the same street as the Golden Griffin. It is the one to the far right. And it also gives, there is also a key there. So you would assume that this is the key to your new house.
Cool.
What are the two of you doing?
Looking at my ransacked room.
Yes. I'd forgotten to go back to that. Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
woke
was
up,
waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, sorry. You came home last night to all your belongings strewn across the room. Did you put the book back after making a copy, Losk? Or did you not make the copy?
Yeah, I did.
You did put the book back. So nothing's missing. It's just a fucking mess.
Question: how did she make a copy of a book I have on my person?
Because we decided that because you weren't there, that maybe you were in the room or had left the power. I just needed the copy of it. And she's quite capable of making a copy very quickly. So, yes, copies were made. I know it's generally on you, but I needed the copy. So, yeah, you came back to your room being destroyed. Is it fair to say that last night, I mean, what I said was that Cassandra was casing Mr. Montalier, who you have your eyes on killing, and getting an idea of everywhere he goes and everything he does. Ephron, is that the right name? Yeah, it's Ephron Montalier. So you're probably out maybe till 11 p.m. last night, and then when you came back, yeah, your room was ransacked and Losk was nowhere to be seen because she was out partying. He was out partying, sorry.
As Torian is looking at his room, I'm gonna walk in and say, "Ooh, what's this?" And then start ransacking it again.
I'm just gonna walk out of the room. Whatever. Couldn't care. There's nothing of importance in that room besides the book. So I'm just gonna go leave and get food.
Okay. So yeah, Sam has kindly left breakfast hanging around in the fridge. You can find various cold meats and cheeses, and some fruit. I think, yeah. I'll just let you play from there, actually. I was going to give you something, but I think maybe we'll delay that. Yeah.
Did you say cold cuts?
Yeah, cold meat, cold
Alright,
cheeses,
I'm taking
fruit.
the pack of salami and I'm leaving.
Beautiful. Nice tray of salami in the fridge. Off you trot with it.
Awfully rude today, aren't we?
What's that rude? You weren't grabbing it.
I haven't even started grabbing anything.
Yeah, but you didn't grab it.
I think you've grabbed enough today.
I didn't grab anything except the salami.
Shall we go back to my room?
I didn't take anything from your room.
Oh, it's great. You just moved it places.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, I didn't take anything. I don't know why you're so upset.
do I sound upset?
Sorry?
Do I sound upset? I'm just confused.
I don't know what I said.
Just
Alright, I
genuinely
guess we don't have a
confused.
problem here if you're just confused.
I tried.
One of you fuck
I
off to
guess
somewhere
not.
useful, please. Actually,
go to the main
well,
arcade.
before you go anywhere, just a reminder, you have a meeting at 3:45 p.m. As Lornock, the jeweler, to set up with, oh shit, what's her name? I ain't got
My
it.
responsibilities, fuck.
I just haven't got a name. I have no idea where I would have put the name either. Yeah, I just don't have it. You have a girl who Lonok looked after as a... Shit, you didn't go to the meeting, did you? Was it you, or was it Resnick that went to the meeting with Kiliana?
I talked to the... That was me.
That was you. Okay, yeah, you had a...
He didn't want to do it, so he sent me in the body.
yeah, you had a girl who you had raised and looked after, who's going to work for you.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
I
just
just don't remember names.
no, I haven't got a name. I just haven't got it at all. I'll have to go back to the previous episode. So for now, we'll just call her Sally and be done with it. You have a meeting with her at 3:45, but it's only 9 a.m., so you've got plenty of time. And so yeah, Major Sarkane, you said.
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, when you get there, there's a sign that says closed until 10:30 a.m. Due to a service at the temple. Do you want
Go to the library.
Okay, lovely. So you head on to the Royal Palace, and you can go straight into the library as Cassandra. You have access, and you see an elf there. He appears incredibly old, and has golden eyes, and he sort of nods to you. His white hair flowing down his back. He's wearing scholarly robes.
Hello.
Good morning. You are one I do not know.
It's my first time coming here.
I didn't speak of the library. Do I know you from Serenia? Moon, give me an insight check.
Insight check.
Yeah, I think that's the only way that it would make sense. Why don't I have access to William Howe's character page? It's really weird.
I'm not very good at those, but that's a 14.
That's perfect. So you would know that you would guess that this is the person they speak of as the eldest in the Elven tongue. He is somebody who, he's not a normal elf. He was an elf before elves were elves. He's a Sylvan. He was there before the very first elf. And he's sometimes known as the Watcher. He doesn't usually venture out of Zerenia, so you'd assume that he has something important to say or do, and that is why he's here. And he says, "Do I know you from Zerenia?"
Does he?
Lady Cassandra has never met the eldest.
I'm from Zerania, right?
Yes, but you wouldn't have met him. He's very reclusive.
Oh, but
Yeah. You are from Zerenia.
you may have known me from Zerania. I am of nobility.
Oh. Well,
Do
regardless.
forgive me, I don't know you.
They call me the eldest. And I came to the library today to seek understanding. Last night, oh, this is really weird because it's actually tomorrow, but fuck it, we're gonna retcon it and go with it now. Yes, the Master Killian passed, and Father Sebastian returned to us. I want to read up on the Plane of the Ancients. Have you heard of the Plane of the Ancients?
Have I?
No.
Not even as Torian?
You can make an intelligence check, but you're gonna need to fucking ace it.
Nah, it's a 16.
You may have heard rumor, but you don't. You don't know anything about it specifically.
What, pray tell, are you looking for?
I understand from the Plane of the Ancients that if one leaves, one must remain. But last night, 5 set forth and returned as 7. Well, 6 set forth and returned as 7. Somebody was returned from the Plane of the Ancients without leaving anyone behind. And that should be impossible. I wish to study, but Master Alastor, I have been waiting for him for a while. Ah! And there he is. And he gestures towards the door, and walking in behind you is a gentleman who has the most absurd beard you have ever seen. It is separated at the centre and twined into 2 very elongated braids, which are then plaited. And each one contains little gems down either side, one in red and one in yellow. His hair is pulled back into a ponytail, also wreathed with gems, and he has a very large pair of spectacles on his head. Well, Elliston, this is the librarian.
That's the guy I'm looking for.
Excuse me, madam. I'm really sorry, I will be with you shortly, but I must take this meeting in private. And he nods to the eldest and gestures towards a private room. Leaving you standing in the library. Give me a perception check.
Damn it. 14.
That's plenty. You look around and you see a dwarven gentleman you have met, who sells books, in a magical bookstore in the Arcade of Endless Wonders. And you see a very short gnome with bright green hair, who is sort of muttering loudly to himself. He possibly seems a little bit frustrated, perusing over some books on one aisle.
Is it still the library?
Yeah, you're in the library.
How does he know we have a meeting?
No, he's more saying he will see to you soon. He has a meeting with the eldest and he's just gone to that meeting
I thought he was
in private. No, he's left you standing in the middle of the library looking at these 2 people.
Oh, okay. That makes a whole lot more
One
sense.
dwarf, one gnome.
Guess I'll just look around at the books, look for any books on performing or acting.
Okay, you move yourself over
Or
to a certain
espionage as well.
aisle, and you find books on performing and the arts. As you're reading, you hear the gnome being absurdly loud. That fucking kobold. Bloody thinks he knows everything.
God damn
Bloody
it.
this place, I can't be dealing with it. Stepping on my toes. First he comes to training and now he thinks he's the master. I will find out how he's done it. And he sort of wanders on past you, sort of swearing and cursing under his breath. And you pick out a book, The Art of Many Faces. This is a book on performing and acting, but more on impersonation. Perhaps it takes your eye.
Oh, for sure it does.
Good. You spend
I guess while I'm waiting, I shall read.
You spend 20 minutes or so reading. A lot of it is fairly obvious to a Shadow Veil. You realize that you need to get deeper into the book for anything to be of use. There's things on imitating accents, which is irrelevant to you. Things on understanding people's personality traits, which you understand already. You bypass that, and then a gentleman comes up behind you, his beard twined. Well, good morning. I apologize for leaving you unattended.
Oh.
I believe this is your first visit to the library, is it not?
Yes, think nothing of it. It's no big deal. And this is indeed my first time visiting here.
I am Elliston. I am the librarian here. What can I do for you?
My name is Cassandra. I was looking into finding a job for me so I could have a steady income. And as one of a purveyor of knowledge and languages, I thought maybe being a teacher for different languages could be of use.
Excellent.
My
linguist.
talents.
We have classrooms here at the library. We do have a linguist, though. He only teaches Elvish and Dwarven. Do you speak any other languages?
I speak many, and I'm always welcome to learn more.
Excellent.
Let me see. I must find what I speak.
Yes. I believe you definitely are not going to be teaching Netherese.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, but
Currently,
you can teach Abyssal, Draconic, Primordial.
I have Abyssal, Common, Draconic, Elvish, Primordial, and Undercommon.
You probably wouldn't teach Undercommon either, but Abyssal, Draconic, and Primordial would be of much interest. And here, scholars of the Magus Arcane will be most interested in this. Do you have arts magical?
What magical?
Arts magical. It's his way of saying, are you
yes.
magic? Excellent. A scholar and a mage. Quite formidable.
As a matter of fact, I had just stopped by the Mages Arcane, but it appears that they are busy with something currently.
Yes, the ceremony for the Great Master Killian. He was an exceptional scholar. But alas,
It's a shame to lose another one.
It is. I could perhaps arrange for you to teach between the hours of 9 and 4? Would that be acceptable to you?
9 and 4 a.m.?
9 a.m. to 4
whatever.
p.m., yeah.
Would that interfere with my,
It's the same hours that most
meeting?
of your party work.
Okay.
No, he wouldn't. It wouldn't be for today. You'd start teaching tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's
yes.
fine.
Well, I will
That's perfect.
provide a classroom, and you may outfit it as you please. I will have to speak
Dangerous
to
idea.
the palace about a wage for you, but they have advised me that we should take on another linguist. The Lady Yana, the princess, is seeking to learn many languages. She believes it important that she can communicate with all her people.
She's after my own heart. But I'm always game to learn new languages as well.
Excellent.
Could
Well,
never learn too much.
as a member of the library and the teaching staff, you will have full access to all the library's books. We only ask that you keep them in excellent condition. I see you're holding a tome there. Pray tell, what is it?
My question is this tome something that I shouldn't have? Oh no, it's from a Mage's Arcane guy, never mind.
No, the tome he's referring to is the performing arts book you'd picked up.
Oh. Just a little tidbit of reading. Nothing special, just performing arts and
Oh my.
languages.
Have
Such.
you been to the theatre here?
I have not.
Oh, it is wonderful. They do fabulous puppet shows.
Puppet shows. Haven't seen one of those in ages.
To quantify, you would know this as Cassandra. In Just Turn, the typical theatre is puppet shows. People acting is something that's far more elven in nature. Not something
Well,
that's
as I
particularly
haven't
seen
been
in
to
Just
Just
Turn.
Turn much, I wouldn't have seen it much.
No, of course, but you would know that this is a custom.
Yeah. Okay.
And, well, perhaps you should visit sometime. It is in the Hall of Games.
Perhaps I shall.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, and if you come by tomorrow, say 8:45, we shall get you set up. I shall see if I can enroll
look
some people
forward
to your
to it.
class. And we shall leave you there.
And do ask
Also,
them if there's any special languages they'd like to learn that I may not know already.
I shall do so. And we shall leave you there. Just as you're having this conversation, you see the gnome storming out the library. And he just simply says,
The guy that was
"Impossible!"
mentioned about the kobold.
Yes, and he's just simply saying that it is impossible, whatever it is that is impossible. And we return to William Hale. As William, you walk into the temple to see people beginning to take their seats. Where would William Hale seat himself?
Probably in the back, furthest row back, and right on the right.
Okay, would this be on the balcony up the top or in the general seating?
Oh yeah, if there's a balcony, yeah, I'll be on there.
Okay, so as you take your seat in the balcony, you notice that some of your peers are nearby. In particular, you look to your left and you see Haldir, the Maestro of Divination. All the other Maestros are in the front two rows. Haldir is sat right at the back. And he has a... the best I can describe it is like a frying pan. Full of water. He's using it like as a portable scrying pool.
Can I, from where I'm sat, can I, see what he's saying? Does scrying work like that?
You could get an idea of what he's seeing, but only if you were closer.
Okay.
But what you do realize is that he's paying very little attention to what's going on around him. Sat next to him is one of the adepts of demonology, Sithis.
You're telling me the Dark Lord?
Well, he was called Shisith, but I can't say it. So yes, he ended up being called Sithish.
All hail.
With an H on the end. Sithis with an H on the end.
Okay, silent. Okay, what was you saying about him, sorry?
Sauce Panay. Sorry, that's giving me a proper tickle. Sitting next to the Master of Divination is an adept of demonology. You know that these two are both quite outgoing. And not necessarily the most respectful of the rules. They probably didn't care for Master Killian. Killian was very much a follower of the rules and a stickler for them. Around here are a few students. One student you recognize as Methil. Methil is an alchemist and a druid. But he's been to your class a few times. He does study in other schools. And always seems to be able to do things sometimes quite quickly, but always in a way that you didn't expect. Like his magic presents in an unusual manner. But as you're sitting here noticing the people around you, one particular person comes and sits next to you. And this is Zarina. Zarina is an administrative assistant. You would know her relatively well. She's great friends with Fleur, and is a bit of a socialite. And she's also married to one of the main what do you call them? People, I guess. She's married to the administrator. Anyway, she sits next to you, and Master Hale, Might I sit here?
Okay.
Got it all down. Cool.
I will gesture to this. Please, it would be my pleasure.
I know I should really be sat further forward, but I find ceremonies such as these very uncomfortable.
Why? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't believe in the divine.
You don't believe in the divine? Do you not believe in this divine or any?
Sorry, perhaps I was ambiguous. I know the divine exists. That much is obvious. I just don't believe in praying to them, any of them, or beseeching their assistance.
Do you not believe they answer our prayers?
Perhaps they do, but not always in the way we'd wish.
Almost as vague as a real preacher. Are you sure you don't pray?
No. Not at all. Lavi, I will answer those questions actually now. Just I'm going to take a second, William. Both stores don't necessarily have names. They're just in the Arcade of Endless Wonders. One is just known as the shop where the kobold is that sells exciting things, and the other is just the Dwarven Library. It's known as like Dusty Tomes. Is the name that people give it because that's what you'll find in there, but it's not traditional anyway. Zarina turns to you and sometimes perhaps I let out a prayer in desperation, but frankly, this giving thanks for a life. I mean, I never did like the temple.
It's very understandable to see where you're coming from. You have already come and shown your respects. If being here is uncomfortable, no one would judge you for.
My husband would. He's all about proprietary. What is proprietary?
I'm sure he would understand if his wife needs a moment.
Or perhaps we can sit back here and judge the looks on people's faces and read the people. Isn't that far more interesting?
I don't possibly know what you could be talking about. However, I'm going to take the opportunity to speak to a few other colleagues, so if you'll please excuse me.
Standing up at this particular moment mid-ceremony is going to be really, really awkward.
I'm in a balcony. No one's looking at me. I'm in the back.
Okay, move quietly.
I mean, she stood up. She was walking around to get to me.
No, she's just taken her seat and then the ceremony began. That's what I was saying. But I'll let you move within the balcony. But give me a stealth check just to see how much noise you make. It's not.
I'm gonna fall over the balcony.
No, I mean it's not a major importance. It's just let's see who notices.
Okay, that's an 11.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get by pretty much okay. But just as you're walking, where are you going? Are you going closer to?
I'd like to. I mean, I'm not going far. It's like, in fact, she's probably gonna look at me like, "Really? You're just going over there?" I wanna walk past Haldea and try and get a glimpse of what it is.
Okay, so this is the entire length of the balcony.
I'll sit next to Sithis.
Oh right, so you're just 2 seats down. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. So you'll walk past him and then take a seat on his left. As you do so, you just... and the woman turns to give you a harsh stare. This is Yagara. She is the maestro of alchemy. She's very sort of prim and proper. She believes in individual responsibility. She's 600 years old. You don't need to write all that down, by the way. It's in your document.
Too late.
Okay. But yeah, it's all in the document. And she sort of... and then sort of turns back to the ceremony. But I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Bit rude.
Okay. So you pass by you pass by Haldir. Make a perception check to see if you can notice what's on the. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So as you look at the scrying.
Okay, that is a 16.
Okay. Yeah, what they are looking at seems to be an image of the inside of the Velvet Rose. And they are watching a man and woman having sex.
Are you serious?
And Haldir is
He's watching porn.
Haldir is sort of giggling and, go on, lad, he says.
Go on, lad.
And they're chuckling. You make an insight check here.
Mate, I'm ready to flip this whole balcony on its head. That's a 15.
You get the impression that they're perhaps watching somebody they know, a friend, go to a brothel for the first time.
How tightly is he gripping the pan, the frying pan that
he's not touching it, it's floating.
It's floating.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. As I sit down next to Sithis, I will spend 1 sorcery point to do this, to make this spell subtle. And I will cast a gust on the frying pan.
Okay. You do so and the water ripples deeply. Maestro Haldir turns to you. Nods. Good morning, Master Hale. How are you?
That is not what I wanted to happen.
I was assuming you were trying to knock it over.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, Gust is not going to compete with it is stuck in place by magic. He's not levitating it. When he's scrying, this is like, it might as well be a stone pillar. It is part of him. You've effectively tried to gust him over. So yeah,
I know that.
You know, it's not a major deal.
Well, I kind of haven't offended.
You can have your sorcery point back. No, he doesn't even know it was you. He's just turned to greet you to say, Master Hale.
Okay, I'll take my sorcery point back.
Yeah, you can have that back. That's fine. Master Hale, welcome along. You were close with Mr. Killian?
Well, he was a teacher to us all in one aspect or another.
Yes, taught me how to break the rules quietly. I don't know about anybody else.
Yes, and none of us are quite as efficient as you.
Now, we're watching my nephew. It's his first time in a brothel. He's made quite an ass of himself twice. When he tried to remove the lady's underwear, he got his fingers stuck. And he actually managed to cut himself. Quite the first experience. I know that perhaps in a temple it's not the place to be doing so, but frankly, this shit bores the hell out of me. Sorry, that was Sithis, not Haldir talking. I should just make that clear. I really mucked up there. Yeah, Sithis is the one saying this. Haldir's watching the scrying, but he's not really. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna like smirk at him and say, I didn't realize that. Is this too rude? I didn't know that incest was your kick, Sithis.
Incest?
Yeah, it's his cousin. He's watching his.
Yeah, but he's
nephew.
Yeah, he's not doing it for a sexual kick. He's doing it to.
Well, no, I'm saying it as a joke, James. I was smirking at him.
No, it isn't. But watching my nephew bumble and fumble is, quite frankly, great comedy. And, well, anything's better than watching this ceremony. At this point, Haldir turns and... We must be respectful. Master Killian was a great teacher and a great man. Even if he was a stickler for the rules. Come here. What's special about Haldir, and this is in the notes, is that he's only 38 years old as an elf, and he is a maestro. Most of them, the next youngest is 106, 103. So he's really young, but you know that he's also known to have had true visions of the future. And that's what makes him...
So he's Professor Trelawney. Okay, great.
Sure.
Um,
Yes, I've designed the whole Magus Arcana around Harry Potter, I promise.
I'm telling you, you have. Okay. Okay. Where I'm. Okay, so that's just us in this balcony, right? Okay, so as I look to the, I don't know if there's anyone sat to my left.
No, a wall.
Okay, so can I see the other balconies?
There is only the one balcony, but you can see all the people down below.
Okay. Do I notice any? I don't want to say odd behavior, but any behavior that like
you do certainly notice some odd behavior.
You know, people crying, you know.
There are lots of people tearful in the front.
But no one like wailing, like throwing their body over the coffin, going, no!
The most notable people who are truly devastated are Khan, who is a student who you have had. He's got extreme potential, but he's definitely a necromancer. Khan appears devastated. Also, Lutheus appears quite disturbed. He's an adept of necromancy. He's usually quite secretive. He's a show person son. All of this information is in the page. But what you notice about Lutheus is that he really appears quite distraught at the loss of Master Killian. And Fleur. Fleur is devastated. And she's in the very front, and of course she'll be taking over from him. But what you notice in terms of odd behavior is a woman who stands by the temple door, looking out at the city. She has long red hair, and you see a few people are trying to sort of mollify her, make her feel a bit better, but she doesn't appear to care. I think she's disinterested. And sitting to the left of her, actually sitting, not standing, is a woman who is in the depths of grief. She's clearly the most upset person in the whole room. You don't know who this is, but you get the impression that perhaps she is not part of the Magus Arcane, instead might be family.
Okay.
She's in the very front row, and the other lady is standing sort of to the right at the temple side door, not the back door. So she's also near the front. And then sort of the speech breaks, and you see Father Sebastian say, "And a moment for the family of the deceased to speak." And that woman, who was distraught, gets up and extends her hand towards the girl who was stood at the door. But she's sort of pushed almost roughly away.
Is it his daughter?
Very much so. You'd get the idea that it's at least somebody related. She's quite rough in the way she pushes her mother away. And the woman walks to the front and begins to talk about how her husband was a great man through many sniffles and whatever. And very suddenly, both Yakatur and Rialdan, the headmasters, not Navanius, he stays seated, but those two stand up and walk swiftly to the side of the temple, where they begin to speak with the guard.
Alright, hold on.
Well, that's alright, you can take those notes because we're going to leave you there.
Okay. They go to talk to a guard.
Yeah. And we come to Luvon. Luvon, you are headed to the it's not the Fair Duck, it's the Vintage Ranch.
Vintage Ranch. I'm already in the body, I'm assuming. Yes.
Yes, yeah, very much so. You went to the freezer and found her well kept. She was already dressed in her baking overalls. So that's sort of what you'd expect her to go to work in.
Okay. I'm going to, before I get there, I'm going to find a mirror. How do I look?
Sorry, who are you asking?
A
mirror.
God.
Oh, right, sorry,
yeah,
a mirror, yes, okay. Sorry, I thought you were going to find Samira. I was going, who the fuck is that? No, yeah,
as you legend today now.
As you look in the mirror, there's a lot of flour and baking stuff down your top. You know, her hair is roughly pulled back in a ponytail. She looks practical. What's she
Look
like?
out for a second.
There's an authoritative air about her, and you know that she's really accustomed to running a kitchen.
Just push them up a little bit. And I head off to the vintage ranch.
There's not much of them, but push them you try. You head over to the vintage ranch, and as you enter, you see various people hard at work. They're obviously open for breakfast already. Breakfast isn't really Layla's main point. She's far more interested in sort of the complex meals and stuff, and obviously she will be catering for tomorrow, so she's quite busy on that. And you're approached by a female, maybe in her 50s, grey hair up in a bun above her head, and you know her to be the manager. She manages the place.
Her name, if I can recall?
Yeah, I'm just looking for it. I thought I had an image, but I don't. So I'm just going to find that now. Valerie.
Valerie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so I just scroll. There we go. Thank you very much.
So, as she's approaching, I'm going to just think in my head exactly, and just get an image of, and of course I'm asking God here, what type of woman is Layla?
Is Layla? Okay.
Yes.
She is very sociable, quite friendly. She's not really got any particularly strong views in any directions. She's quite relaxed, laid back, very business-minded. She has put her career before any family at all. She has a couple of quite good friends. She's made a couple of good friends recently, and ironically including Ruby, so you and Samus will be able to walk around without people worrying particularly. But the princess has taken a liking to her recently.
Resplendent.
Because she's very relaxed and cheerful. Yeah, in general, she's quite outgoing, quite gregarious, but not, but not in a sort of forceful way. She's not a big personality. She's just consistent. Also, just a brief note on Valerie. Valerie is like Madam Efficient. Like, everything is on a timetable. Everything is written down. Notes are kept perfectly. The schedule runs to the minute. It's like that annoyingly good secretary,
She's perfect.
She's perfect and yet infuriating. She also has no personality worth mentioning. She has a husband, but he's as boring as she is. He's probably an accountant. They probably have 2.5 children who they pay zero attention to in a 3-bedroom house. And, they're very much exactly what you'd expect from, like, your normal family. And she has, like, she comes up to you with, like, a notebook. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Valerie. Tell me, what is on the docket today?
Well, everything, to be honest. We have the princess for breakfast. That's the first thing we should notice. Yana is sat on table 6. She has had... And she lists off, like, the whole thing, like, everything they've ordered, which clearly is no information that you need, so we'll skip past it. They seem to be
you did say that the princess is here for breakfast, though.
Yes, that's what but she's reading off, like, everything that they have eaten and ordered.
Okay. Gotcha,
which is just too much information. Juliet is serving them. They appear to be very happy. They should be leaving within 40 minutes. The coffee was over roasted this morning when I came in, but it's okay. Marcus has fixed it, and we also had the delivery this morning for the food for tomorrow evening. The fish was very badly stored, but apart from that, everything was to hand. I wasn't sure about the crayfish and I want to have a look at those. Some of the baked goods might need extra rising. She just continues to spiel, so if you want to interrupt her, please do.
I'll just put my hand up. Valerie. So that's all well and good. What I'm most concerned about is the ball. We have that coming up.
That's the delivery that she's talking about.
Okay.
Yes, the food has been delivered. I'm a little worried about the crayfish, and some of the baked goods don't quite look right. Obviously they're pre-proof, but I'm not so sure, and also I'm really not sure that Marcus is capable of handling some of it. Perhaps you might want to have a look at some of the more refined stuff. I know your menu is exquisite, but the execution, of course, important.
Do I know if Valerie is working working the ball as well?
Valerie will be working the vintage ranch. she is always at the Vintage Ranch.
I wonder if Marcus can't handle the Vintage Ranch for that night. I think I'd rather have Valerie on staff in the ball.
She doesn't
there
cook.
to make
Marcus
sure-
is a chef.
Oh, okay.
Marcus is one of your main chefs, probably one of your 2 sous chefs. It's more. She's suggesting that maybe some of the more exquisite stuff you cook yourself.
Yeah, got you.
And she also mentions that perhaps you want to close the Vintage Ranch tomorrow lunchtime.
I believe so. I believe that's actually pretty. That's a good idea.
I don't
have to
expect
worry about
many
that.
people will come to eat before the ball anyway.
Besides that, I believe you deserve a night off.
Oh, thank you. But, well, there's nothing much going on at home anyway, so, you know me, I'm quite happy to work, and work I'm happy, but, well, it is 12 years since my husband and I attended a ball. Perhaps we should.
I think you should. I would love to have you there.
I must say, you seem different today, Layla. Oh, you're not failing at being Layla at all.
No.
You just seem relaxed. Please.
Yes. I guess today I feel like everything is going according to plan. That's all.
And then at this point, a young girl walks over and just puts a coffee in your hand. And there is a teaspoon in it. You know that Layla will always stir her own coffee constantly as she talks and stuff. So it's just it's an addition to what she would normally do. But yeah, it's sort of put in your hand by Annabelle, one of the waitresses, and she walks off. You get the impression that some of the younger girls are intimidated by Layla, despite the fact she's really nice to them. It's more Layla's sort of effortless grace in both the kitchen and serving that it's natural. But as Layla, you would know that you probably would approach the princess's table and at least greet.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
No problem. Well, Valerie, you seem to have everything here. I'm going to show my face to the princess. I don't look.
Yes, and she just leans over and sort of, in that horrible mum way, with the sort of licks a napkin and just takes a little bit of sort of mark off of your cheek, and otherwise, excellent. Look excellent.
Perfect. All right. And I'll walk over to the princess.
And you see that Yana is having breakfast with a gentleman. But
Do I recognize him?
he's elderly.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, of course you recognise him because Layla would recognise him. He is Royston Landsmith. He is the wife's father. So he's not the head of the household, but he's older than the head of the household. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes, but he's
granddad. He's granddad.
He's the father-in-law of the head of the household.
Gotcha.
And they seem quite engrossed in conversation, but not in any sort of affectionate way. It's almost like Yana is perhaps learning something. You remember, you know that Yana's only recently introduced to the court.
I got you. Let's walk over. Good morning, Mr. Landsmith.
Layla,
It's a Shana.
the food was fantastic this morning. Compliments
I
to
hope so.
the chef.
How does Marcus know?
The pastry was, sublime. How are you doing this morning?
I feel great. How do you feel?
My head's a little heavy from last night, but
Go with time.
I was at the Hall of Games and they introduced Master Shimakobe.
So
Yes,
is your head heavy with that?
No, my head is heavy with the wine. My head is light with the meeting. Oh, it was something. He moved so effortlessly.
That's good to know.
I have a request for tomorrow. You're doing the ball, are you not?
Yes, of course.
Do you know those wonderful little dainty pastries with the seafood in that you make?
Yes.
Will they be there?
Specifically for you, yes.
Excellent. It's just, there is something romantic, is there not, in sharing. And what is the fucking word for them?
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, I mean that's not the word I was looking for, but it's what she's implying. No, when you have like cocktail food things on trays that get passed around.
Finger food?
Hors d'oeuvres.
No, that's not the word.
There's a name, but fuck it, will it not come to mind? Do you know what? I know where to find it. I'll go and look it up while I'm talking. Yes, so there is something romantic about taking them and placing them in someone else's mouth. You know? Just yes, and I really want to know what this is. Don't you?
While she's saying this, how's Royce looking? Is he like taken aback a little bit, or is he just kind of just
Canapes, by the way, is the word I was looking for.
Canapé.
He is looking slightly embarrassed that he's party to this conversation.
I think I'll take a notice of that and I'll sit down. Because I'm sort of like the table has it's like a booth, or is it like what's it
no,
like?
they're sitting at a fairly sort of elegant table with large chairs. But what Layla typically does when she wants to do this at customers, she just goes down to one knee, where she's sort of leant on the edge of the table.
The only reason why I say that is because I think maybe Yana will feel a bit more comfortable with him gone for now.
Oh, you can pull up a chair.
No, okay, yeah, I'll pull up a chair. I just don't want him to feel too uncomfortable. But I'll slide up. Oh, Master Royce, I hope you're okay with hearing a bit of girl talk.
Well, I just fear that my granddaughters are like that. Well, you know, it's that time, and not only that,
Girls will
but
have their fun.
it is nice to hear the lady talk of somebody who is not that damn merry, oh boy.
I
That is
agree.
not a political movement I wanted to see. If only we had an eligible bachelor for you, my lady, but we do not. I must agree with the princess. Your pastries were excellent this morning. The princess has
Thank
booked
you.
breakfast for us this morning as she is looking at understanding property.
Oh, now why would that be?
I think it is something to do with the gifting of the house to Master Shimakobe.
Oh. And speaking upon that, now, Lady Yana, perhaps I should make a pastry specifically for you and him.
Well, I'm not allowed to show favoritism yet, so says my father. I must, of course, dance with all the eligible bachelors. And, well, of course, nobody is meant to know who is who in Mask as well. But perhaps something that is not announced. But I know. That would be quite the fun secret, wouldn't it?
I think it would be. Perhaps...
Can I
on
just
the night
point
of the
out,
ball-
I just want to cut completely out for a second and just look at how ridiculous it is that you and I are sharing girl talk about gossip. It's so bizarre. I had a real sort of fourth wall moment of like, this is such a strange thing to be role-playing with Kira. Anyway, please continue.
Perhaps, you can find some time alone with Mr. Shimakobe.
He has promised
And
me a
perhaps-
dance.
Dance. I must ask, how could he possibly be the one for you?
It's so early. I've only met him once. And yet... The thing is that all these boys, all these noble sons, I didn't grow up in the court. I grew up in farmland, with farm boys. And frankly, they were more interesting. And they said what they thought. They had opinions. They cared. They made silly romantic gestures. They snuck behind the haystack with you. I don't want a well-schooled, educated noble that will say all the right things and do all the right things. I want someone interesting, someone different, someone real. And Master Shimakobe was that. As well as a little mysterious, of course.
Then, my dear, follow your heart. And I will definitely aid you in this any way I can.
Maybe you are good. And, of course, you were with us last night. You saw the way he looked at me.
Love at first
Can
sight.
only be good, right?
There are many books written upon it.
Oh, excellent. I wish I could join you for lunch. Ruby invited me for lunch, but I have to have us lunch with Lady Azeldria. I like Lady Azeldria a lot. She...
But
No, but she is... No, I know Lusk is none of those things, but she is hoping that he is. Yes, she's wonderful. She can be who she wants to be. I wish that I had the same freedom.
courage.
Um,
Well,
Can I just ask a quick question of Losk? Where would you go at 9:30, 10? Would you be going to the house, or would you be going to get breakfast, perhaps knowing that Layla is there?
Well, I have a bag of salami, so I don't need breakfast.
I was more wondering if Luvon had told you that the princess was in for breakfast, and if you wanted to accidentally bump into, or if you were quite happy to just let things happen at their own pace.
Yeah, I'll just let things happen.
Okay. Yeah. I'll come back to you in a moment.
The house isn't the only thing I want to do.
No,
so
of course. I will come back to you in a moment to let you guys, you and Moon decide where you're going. But at this moment, the princess turns to you. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're at work.
Please.
And you see she sort of awkwardly gestures to you at Royston, like, "Hey, I've summoned him for breakfast. I should probably actually finish what I'm here for."
Understood. Just know, please, anytime you want to talk, I'm here.
Oh, thank you so much, Layla. I appreciate it. And then I'm assuming you're going to go about your normal duties.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up and go see Marcus. We don't have to RP that, but I'm gonna go see Marcus and see what's going on and everything like that.
And in that moment, this is where you sort of finalize your menu for tomorrow. And there are a few things that will need to be cooked for tomorrow today. So these are the things that are sort of elements of other dishes. So for example, you might bake the cake that then needs to be iced, etc. Those sorts of things. So as you're...
I do want to make that special pastry for her.
I'm gonna let you bring that up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
well, next week, but tomorrow.
Next week, yeah.
And so we come to Losk. It's you've got your salami in hand. It's 9:45 a.m. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Is there a set time that I needed to be at the house by?
No, it's your house. You would assume that today the house is yours and yours alone. As Losk, you would know that there are various people in the city who are interior designers, who arrange, you would go to the courthouse to arrange servants, and that would be proper. You would also know that this is being paid for by somebody else, so get them. But yeah, you would sort of know where to go and what to do, but no, it's entirely up to you, it's your home.
Okay, so we're gonna ignore the home for now.
Fabulous.
We'll do that later on in the list. Hold on, I'm sorry, I gotta pull up the map and see where I am.
Right now you're in the Paupers District. One to the left is Salty Dog. Your home is 3 to the right of the Vintage Ranch. I did count them last week. I believe it's 12. Yes, it's number 12. And I do have the name of the road somewhere, but fuck me if I can find it now.
It's alright. So I'll head over to the Dusty Toe. And if things go over smoothly and Lost doesn't get into a fist fight with the dwarf, then it shouldn't take too long.
You are greeted by said grumpy dwarf. He's just coming in the door, almost just before you, and the sign switches from closed to open. Morning, come on in.
Good morning. I'm looking... Sorry, is there a... I've been meaning to ask this. Is there a list? The merchant's list?
No. No,
okay.
There are no lists for these. So the... he sells proficiencies, feats, expertise, and attribute increases.
How much would be a linguist feat?
The feats are all 5,000 each. You can buy 2 at max.
Per feats or like books?
5,000 per feat. So you buy a book and it grants you the feat.
Yeah, but when you say there's a limit on 2...
Yes, you can only gain 2 feats in this manner.
Okay. No, I was just making sure that it's not just... You know.
Otherwise, people who are rich would just have every feat in the game, and we'd have horrible character sheets.
Okay. I would like to buy. You know what? Fuck it. Let's buy 2 linguist feats.
Oh, I think I misunderstood the linguist feat. Can you explain the linguist feat to me?
I think it gives you like 3 languages you can learn. I have one right now, so if I buy these 2 books, I would have 3 linguist feats.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, you learn 3 languages of your choice. I thought it made it easier to learn languages. Yeah, you can have 2 linguist feats, that's absolutely fine. And also, on this note, you could that wouldn't be 2 to your cap. That would only be 1 to your cap. Any feat that stacks, you can purchase multiple times.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to end up with 12 linguist feats, be my guest.
Woohoo! Alright, no, I'll only buy 2 for now.
And, yep, he tells you, it's 9,500.
Oh, is that a...
You get a 2,
discount?
yeah, you get a discount for getting 2.
Wow, okay. Alright, thanks. And then after I make this purchase, I'm gonna decide my languages later, but
Yeah,
I
that's
would
fine.
also like to
Well,
visit...
you'll also need to read the books, so that's when you'll decide the languages. It will take 3 hours at some point.
Alright. The Divine Elegance, that was the clothing shop, right?
Yeah, were you hoping to go to Kyo's shop? You mentioned that in chat, because otherwise...
Yeah,
Okay, because otherwise you're going to be doing, like, the longest loop ever. Kyo's is in the arcade.
Because I recall him saying that his shop just opened, and that if we needed something, we should just ask if he has it.
Yep,
I
he's
don't really
directly
need
opposite.
anything, I just kind of wanted to browse, but because I don't need anything, then...
Yeah, I mean, he's got a few unusual inventions, some of which might come in useful to you. There is an orb there that will definitely take your fancy, should you wish to pop in, but if not, we'll head to Divine Elegance.
Yeah, I'll pop in. I just kind of want to take a little browse around.
As you do, please do what Luvon couldn't and make a perception check.
Oh boy.
You mean Torian?
No, I believe it was you who was trying to look around to see what the security was on Kyo.
Oh, yeah, wait, you're right.
I mean, I'm not trying to do anything, but that's a 6.
Nope, still nobody has a clue what the security is here. You notice a steel defender by the door, but that's it. I'm
not trying to steal from a slave.
No, but you do know that Luvon was very interested in what was going on in this shop, so... you head on in, and...
You think I care about Luvon's interest?
No, maybe not. But besides, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You do, however, notice there are 7 or 8 customers in the shop. They are dotted around in different places. They're mostly looking at various wares. There is a young half-elf behind the counter. His hair is sort of neatly... It's done in like a comb-over. It's really inappropriate. He's sort of... Oh, well, hello there. Hello. Welcome to Kyo's shop. How can I help you?
I'm just browsing. No help needed.
Excellent. If you need me to explain any of the things that are on the shelves, please feel free to ask. And you see this, just if you look up to the right, you see a kobold sat on a stool, and he's just rolling his eyes. And like, why have I let somebody else run this fucking store?
Is this stutter because he's nervous, or was
he's
it because
both nervous and brand new
child?
and hasn't any idea how to run a shop, and he's just been hired like by Amon, and he's just stuck in this shop. It's only day 6. He's no idea what he's doing. He's terrified of everyone, and he's never seen a novel in his life. So yeah, he's just nervous. This kobold just sort of rolls his eyes and looks over at you. Well, if you need anything interesting or custom, perhaps, feel free to ask. And then,
Will do.
Yeah, you're left to browse. And as I said, one particular orb takes your fancy. You notice it is labelled, and this is the Orb of Languages. And this doesn't allow you to speak any language, but it does allow you to comprehend any language. It allows you 3 casts of comprehend languages per day.
How much is it?
It is 2,700.
I'm trying to decide whether I should be nice.
You don't have to be nice.
You know what? I'm gonna be nice.
Mm.
I'm gonna buy it. Yeah. How much was it?
2,700.
Okay.
And the kobold turns to you as you go to the counter to purchase. And we're giving out a prototype with every sale today. Please show your friends. And he hands you a small box, golden in colour but made of wood. Each one tells a different story.
Yeah. What is this?
It's a light box. It tells a story. Here, and he opens it, and on the wall is a display of lights, like a motion picture. And this one tells the story of an elf who was lost in the land of the Fae, and was looked after by satyrs. and he's going to give it to you whether you want it or not. I have no idea what you're
Okay.
going to do with it, but he wants you to show your friends. He's
Alright,
very persuasive.
we'll do.
It's his advertising scheme. Yeah. So you leave with your orb of comprehend languages. I can give that to you post session, but it's just 3 cards of comprehend languages per day.
Alright. And then I'm gonna head over to the Divine Elegance.
Okay. And as you enter, you see a girl behind the counter. Not a woman. It's Mary. You know her, and it seems she's running the shop today.
Good day.
Good morning, Master Shimakobe, correct?
Yes.
I have a
I
mask
came
for
in
you?
here. Yes, that's exactly what I came here for.
Excellent. I have it somewhere. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's been madness. The lady today is sewing, so everything's packaged really complicated. And you see as she sort of pulls out a sort of box, and there's like thousands of masks all wrapped up and labeled for
Right.
different people. And she sort of rummages through. And how are you doing today? Are you having a good day?
Yes, I'm doing well. What about you? It seems a bit hectic around here.
I'll be better when we get to the ball tomorrow. Goodness knows how it's going to be when people are collecting their clothing tomorrow, but we'll get there, We've got extra hands on work. I've been given lots of responsibility. I feel very proud, but frankly, right now, I could do with some lunch and a coffee. And Master Shimakobe, here we go. And she hands you a package in brown paper with your name on the front.
Alright, I hope you don't mind if I, open it now.
Oh,
to
please
see
do,
if it
please do.
fits. Alright, yeah, I'll open it.
And dragon, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I
think it was red
know
and
it's red and gold. I know it's red and gold. I just couldn't remember what fucking animal it was. Yep. So as you open it, inside is the mask of a red and gold dragon. It is fitted so that the tail flows far out to the side, and it appears to be breathing flame almost into your hair to the left. It is fitted exquisitely. It is a perfect fit. And it comes with a small handle down the side. Although it fits well with a band around your head, you can instead choose to take the band off and hold it in front of your face. Which is one of the... You will have to do that during the dance where the mask is revealed and not. Which is a special dance at the Masquerade Ball. And yeah, it's elegant and it's nice.
Alright, I believe I must pay you now. I think
I
payment
believe
was
so.
after I received
It's
the
yes, and it's 500 rubles.
Okay. So yeah, I'll hand over the rubles. Thank you. It fits exquisitely.
Well, the mistress is good at her craft. There was something she wanted to ask you. Although, I feel awkward as it's not really my place, but... If I may, she wondered if at some point she might borrow a... She gave me the name, but... Oh, she'll be so upset with me. You wore a
Kimono?
garment... Thank you. Yeah, I knew the name, but she's strange. Well, we've had a few requests for garments such as yours that you wore last night to the Hall of Games. And when I say a few, they are numerous. She wondered if she might study one, so that she may make an imitation.
Unfortunately, the kimono is a very traditional wear within my family. Even though I am not associated with my father anymore, it's still a very sensitive topic. I'll have to think about it.
Excellent. And in the meantime, we will try and make an imitation that is different enough so as not to intrude upon your traditions, but similar enough that it will please the people ordering them. I hope that will do.
Again, I'll think about it.
Thank you. Just to give you an idea, the nobles are powerful enough that if they want to imitate your wear, they will do so at their own accord. But it will be very bad imitation that almost doesn't resemble it at all, unless you provide this.
Right.
So that's really where that one's going.
Well, I'd also imagine that because, like, his father specializes in, making kimonos
Yeah.
and making silk, so he probably has some power over.
Yes, he might be able to influence people to come to him instead.
Yeah.
Well, is that everything, sir?
Yes, I believe it is. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't work too hard.
Thank you.
Alright.
Well, yeah. And you may leave.
Yeah.
Did you have anywhere else you wanted to go?
Alright, the last thing is gonna get interesting.
Mhm.
I'm gonna head over to the temple.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you walk really slowly, or did you want to arrive at Master Killian's ceremony?
I will walk very slowly.
Thank you, and we'll come back to you in a moment. Because yeah, otherwise you're just gonna walk into this ceremony full in swing. I will come to Moon very shortly, but I just wanted to make a quick note with William Hale. You see Rialdan and Yakuta, having spoken to the guard, leave very briskly. You would know as William that this is completely inappropriate. And also something they wouldn't want to do. You get the impression that maybe something's come up that's majorly important. At this moment, you have an opportunity to either try and exit quietly and work out what's going on, or ask Cassandra to see if she can tell them and work out what's going on. As Cassandra is out in the town and you know her to be free today. You have the ability to message her. Assuming you applied your tattoo, and on that note, where would William have applied the tattoo? Or where would Vardy have applied the tattoo?
He would apply it right on his left V line.
Mm-hmm. And that will only show up when you are Vardy. It won't show up as William Hale.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You could also attempt to persuade Haldir to find out what's going on. As an option, I will give that to you.
I know that I'd roll bad on that. I can just feel it.
I mean, it's up to you. But I'm assuming you want to know what's going on.
I do have a +8 on persuasion. I'll risk it.
Okay, so what are you going to say to him?
I am going to telepathically speak to him.
You can't do that to Haldir. You can do it to anyone else.
Right.
But to Haldir, you could do this at any time he's not currently scrying.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
His mind is in the bowl.
How rude. Okay.
You know Sithis doesn't give
His
a fuck.
mind's in the bowl. How am I even going to have a conversation with him?
You will be able to pull his mind out the bowl by disrupting him personally. By saying, yo, you, oi.
Okay. Then I will use my invisible mage hand to... Since... I mean, I don't want to shove it, but I want to, like, grab his shoulder with it.
Yeah, okay, and at that point you can speak to him telepathically.
Okay. And yeah, I will speak to him telepathically. Oh god, I think I want to say. I will say to him, you may not have noticed, since you're very busy creeping on your nephew. Oh, no,
It's Sithis' nephew.
Yeah,
It's Sithis' nephew, but yeah, it's creeping on Sithis'
You may
nephew,
not
which is
know
just
it
as creepy.
because your, you know, mind is elsewhere, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
Something's come up. Yakuta and Riordan have abruptly left.
You see an image in your mind of a blank wall, and written on this wall is this something that needs to be secret? He can't communicate back with you. Actually, did your spell allow him to communicate back telepathically?
If I let him, yeah. Right,
okay, because otherwise he will be able to form images in your mind, but he can't speak to you telepathically. He doesn't have that ability.
Yeah, no, I'll allow it.
Okay. So at that point, he will speak back to you and say, is this something that needs to be private? Oh, the headmasters? They're leaving, you said?
Yes.
That's strange.
Yes, incredibly unorthodox.
Let me guess, you want to know what they're doing?
Don't you?
Oh, I do. But why should I share it with you? And now you must make a persuasion check. And what are you going to say to him?
Except I've got to think about what to say to persuade him.
That you must. Set your own DC.
Oh, I don't know enough about this world to offer anything.
Oh, why do you want to know?
I want to know because I want to know everything.
Are
I
you
don't know
gonna tell
why.
me, Joe? Just curious.
Would I know why he would want to know something like this?
How,
I mean, I know that he doesn't like rules.
How
but...
there is like, he's an ultimate socialite. He's a complete gossip. He's morally ambiguous. He's bisexual and flirtatious. Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay. I know then. Okay, so I will wait. So if I didn't allow him to talk to me, he would put images in my head. This is really playing fast and loose with what I can do as an aberrant mind sorcerer. Can I put images in his mind?
No, you're not a divination wizard.
Oh man, what if?
That's his ability, not yours.
What if could I use minor illusion in his head?
No. No.
Oh man. Okay, fine.
But you can subtly hint in other ways.
Not really. Okay, fine. I will say, oh fuck. I will say that, okay, I will say to him that, I'm not interested in gossip in the same way you are, but like I know what I want to say. I'm trying to word it in like
word it badly, and then I'll get an idea from what you're trying to say.
Okay, I basically want to say to him like, "Oh, you use your mouth to gossip, but I use my mouth to do other things."
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna make a move.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a move.
And he will put an image of your head of Keldar, the administrator, who he is currently in a romantic relationship with. And then he's in a romantic relationship with Keldar, the administrator, quartermaster.
Call me that, James.
But he turns to you and he gives you a wink. Make a perception check. He's very morally ambiguous and very flirtatious. He may well be up to cheat. Persuasion check, yeah. I thought that's what I said.
That is a 24.
Well, that'll do it. Yeah, and he turns to you, well, I like to keep my options open. Here, Sithis, sorry. And the bowl will begin to float between the three of you. And we shall come back to that moment soon. Cassandra, where are you?
What time is it?
It's approximately 10:15. The ceremony is due to end in 20 minutes.
Am I not late for my meeting now?
At 3:45?
Didn't I have a meeting at 9?
No.
Oh, then,
your meeting's at 3:45. As Lonok.
I guess I would just be heading back to the house.
Okay, you're gonna head back and then head towards the Mage's Arcane a bit later.
Yeah, well... Oh no, I can go to the Mage's Arcane now, right?
Yeah, this is what I was hoping you would say, because as you are headed to the Mage's Arcane, you will pass the outside of the temple. And as you pass the outside of the temple, you see two mages who you know to be the headmasters, Rialdan and Yakatur, sprinting to the city gate.
Huh.
It must be serious because they're running instead of using magic.
Holy shit! Oh my god, don't scare me like that, Lask. What the fuck?
Come out of nowhere. But yeah, as you see them running, did you wish to try and tail them or follow them or anything, or were you just going to head to the Mage's Arcane?
I just headed to the Mage's Arcane. I couldn't care less what's happening to this town.
Actually,
yeah.
Sorry, would I be there with Torian? Because I was heading the same way.
It's fair to say that they haven't quite reached you yet. You're coming from Divine Elegance, so you're headed straight up, but they are going to pass you in a moment, and I'm going to give you the same option.
Okay. No, I wasn't gonna fucking interact with them.
Oh, you will, in your slow walk, you will eventually encounter Torian stood outside.
Alright.
So if nobody is going to find out why the mages are running around apart from William, yes, Losk, you eventually come upon Cassandra, who is stood outside the Mage's Arcane. There is a note on the door saying it will open at 10:30. It's now 10:22. Yes. What do the two of you wish to do? Are you just going to have a little chat before you go in, or just going to wait?
Hello there, Cassandra. Fancy running into you here?
Ah, lost. What do I owe the pleasure?
I heard that, well, you're starting to delve into different languages. I got this for you.
Yes.
And then I'm just gonna yeet the orb at him.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to catch it.
Oh, that's who you were being nice to. I thought you meant be nice to the good party.
I
Okay.
cannot believe you didn't figure that out. I figured out who she was being nice
No,
to.
I thought she was being nice to the
Party.
good party. She was going, should I spend the money and give it to the good party, or shall I just...
It's not that much money.
No, it's not, but, you know, it's just interesting. That's what I thought, and then it turned out that she was being nice to Torium. How nice.
I mean, I've ransacked his room like 3 times, so...
Sure. So, have the orb of comprehend languages.
I wasn't sure if that's what she was going to give me, or... if it
The
was
light
going to be
box?
Linguist.
Oh, right, I see.
Or not. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the
okay.
things I was thinking.
Okay.
No, the linguist feats are for me.
Yes. So yeah, you have the orb. Is there anything else you two wish to
I
exchange? Go on, Karen.
That's it.
Okay.
My thing.
And we shall leave the two of you waiting outside the Mage's Arcane. And William, in the scrying bowl, you see Rialdan and Yakuto sprinting outside. And then a dimension door opens in the church at the edge of the door, and Navania steps up and walks through it. And he appears outside the city gates, where about...
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
In the temple, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, in the temple. Who walks out of it?
Navanius, the other headmaster. He's walking into it, and he's then going to walk out of it, outside the city gates.
Okay.
And then the image goes blurry. And Haldir falls to his knees on the floor. The scrying bowl disappears. And he appears to be clutching his head. He's twitching. Sithis puts his hand on your shoulder and says, he's having a vision. And we'll take a break. We will revisit William Hale briefly. You see how they're twitching on the floor. Sithis has told you that he's having a vision. And at this moment, Father Sebastian stops the ceremony. I'm so sorry, but something has come up. Well, we must end a few minutes early, but may he rest in peace, and for those grieving, please come forward and give your wishes. And then he leaves.
Okay, well, I mean, I want to leave, but I'm gonna wait to see what the vision is.
Okay. You wait a couple of minutes, and Haldir comes too. And he sits up, and a dragon has come.
I am going to stand up telepathically, say to him, I don't know how to say it in like a civilized manner. When you're ready to tap this, let me know, and then I'm gonna walk away.
If your interest piques, pop by, and you go. And we come to Cassandra and Lusk. The Mage's Arcane door is open. And there are
See you
a
later.
large group of mages behind you all, beginning to walk in.
I'll walk out of the way.
You're going to go to the temple, is that correct?
Yes.
You're looking for temple administration, right? Or are you trying to
No,
impersonate somebody?
The
Or
church.
You're
The
just going to go
temple.
into the main temple, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a large exodus of people leaving it right now. But you can wait along by the side, and we'll follow Cassandra. Cassandra, you're going in?
Yes.
Okay. You do so, and you see an acolyte nods to you. Oh, good morning, ma'am. May I help you?
Ah, yes. I was looking for someone to talk to concerning joining the Mages Arcane.
Oh, excellent. The administrator in residence today is Flavella. She's down the corridor to the left at the desk.
Ah, thank you
That's your
very
friend.
much.
So what you see in front of you is 14, well, 15 actually, portals of different colours. And then it's sort of like it's a tower, right? So there's like a round to the right and a round to the left. Round to the right is travel, and round to the left is both the College of the Bards and the administration. So as you head round to the left, you pass a passageway down to your right at one moment. But it specifically says College of the Bards above it, so you ignore that. And you head on and you reach the administrative offices. And you see a youngish elf, perhaps in her 50s, 60s. She's got spectacles on her nose, her hair is tied up, and she looks over to you. Ah, good morning.
Hi, yes. I was here to inquire about joining the Mages Arcane.
Excellent. And will you be an independent member, or were you looking to join for classes?
An independent member.
Excellent. First I must, what's the word, sorry. Attain your, capability. If I may take your hand?
Be my guest.
And at this moment, you have an option as a Shadow Veil to try and hide some of your magic ability, or let her see you in your full power. What would you like to do?
I'll let her see.
Okay. She's sort of... Oh. Okay. Excellent. You'll be a formidable member. I noticed that some of your magic is not your own, is that correct? Implying Warlock.
Yes.
Very good. And yet, some of your magic is. I shall put you down as a member of High Magic and of, what exactly do they call it? And Demonology. High Magic implies you're an elf.
This is correct.
Okay. Very good. I shall note that down. Can I take your name, please?
This is Cassandra.
Excellent. Of Serenia?
Yes.
Excellent. And your place of residence? Just Stern will do. You don't have to be any more specific.
Okay.
Excellent. Very good. And do you currently have any work within the city?
I just inquired upon becoming a linguistic teacher at the library.
Oh, excellent. Would you like me to inform some of the mages here? Perhaps they would like to come and take classes. I myself am currently studying Halfling.
Oh, that would be excellent. I have yet to learn that one.
Oh, brilliant. I shall do so. Well, thank you very much. And she hands you a small wand. This wand will open the front door. That's all that does. Yep. And as you are talking, a Yuan-Ti comes behind you. This is the only Yuan-Ti at the Mages Arcane.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I don't know you. My apologies for interrupting. Flavella. The headmasters will be out of the office for the day. She sort of gives a strange look like, what the fuck, that never happens. Very well. Okay. I was sent to inform you, I don't know. Okay. And then briskly walks back past you. A pleasure to meet you, and then leaves. You get the impression that everybody in this Mages Arcane right now is looking preoccupied. / busy.
Not much of the talker, is he?
He's usually very, very chatty. It is unheard of for all three headmasters at once to be out of the offices for a whole day.
Oh?
I don't know what's happened, but it must be something major. I apologize for his brisk greeting, but it's a pleasure to have you enrolled, and we welcome you to the guild. And we look forward to seeing more.
I think nothing of it. And thank you for welcoming me in. If ever you'd like to study languages to one another privately, I'm always open.
Well, thank you. Will your classes be taking place at the library?
Yes.
Excellent.
From 9 to 4, I believe.
I may come by. Yeah, they'll be sort of divided into what languages are teaching at what times, so...
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
get there
but
at some point. But
between
yes,
those times.
Yeah, okay. Well, wonderful. William, were you going to head to the Mage's Arcane, or were you going to head elsewhere? Post this vision.
I mean, I can't follow the headmasters because I don't know where they've gone. So yeah, I would head straight for my office.
Okay. Sorry, I'm echoing off of you. When you get in, you will bump into Cassandra, who is on her way out, and standing before the portals is a boy. He is elven. He is very young. He has long, dark black hair, and eyes of violet. And he's shouting, "What do you mean they're not in? I was told to meet with Master Rialdan. This is... what do you mean? And none of the maestros are in? How can this be? What has happened to our lessons?" You see, he's quite angry and quite disturbed. And give me an Arcana check or a Insight check, whichever you prefer.
I'll go Arcana.
Okay.
That's a 17.
Yeah, you notice that there is an air of magic trembling about him. He's not casting, but it's almost like his magic is bursting to get out. You don't know who this boy is. You've never seen him before. As you look around, there are no other adepts. You are the most high-ranking member in this hall.
It's always a toss-up to use my spells. I'm like, what if they just pass and then I'm useless? Okay. The boy. Fuck, I'm gonna regret this. He will need to make a.
You're useful otherwise.
What? What?
I said that implies you're useful otherwise.
He was just being a dick. Carry on, as you were.
He needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Yeah, he fails. That's a 9.
Oh, great. So I will. I don't care to do this early. I will take out my black wand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll kind of like wait. I'll kind of like twirl it in a couple of circles,
Mm-hmm.
and like this yellow, like daisy yellow magic will kind of like gently like come out of the wand and over like around his face. I'm casting calm emotions on him.
Sort of. He turns to you. Who are you?
Is he a student? I'm
Very
assuming
much
he's
so.
a student.
He's a very young student.
Right, so he would refer to me as
He has
adept.
said, "Who are you?"
Well, yeah, but I want to correct him on addressing me like that.
Try.
I'm asking you, what would a student call me?
They'd know you as Master Hale, and they would call you Master Hale, or Master. Adept is what somebody of a higher rank than you would call you. It's sort of like, it's almost a dismissive title. It's like you don't have a name.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Adept.
Master Hale is how you can address me, boy.
You are a maestro? Oh, you're an adept.
I am an adept.
Good, then you can answer my questions. Why are the portals closed?
Child, how old is he?
16. And he's an
Okay, so
elf,
yeah.
so he's really a child.
Yeah. Child. The portals are closed because there is business going on that is beyond your, and quite frankly, my station. Lessons will be cancelled for today. You may study in the... We have a library, right?
No, the library is in the Royal Palace, but you have various studios offices. At this point, though, as you're saying this, you feel a hand on your left shoulder. That's really weird because your camera's flipped. like
Sorry.
on your left shoulder, and you're like, go right. And standing there is Zethris and Leowallen. Zethris has placed her hand on your shoulder. Lessons will only be cancelled until midday. And step carefully with this one. Zethris is a guide. The guides are almost as strong as the headmasters. They are stronger than most of the maestros. They are exceptional mages who control the portals, amongst other things. Right at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And step lightly with this one. This is Ildan.
He's what, sorry?
This is Ildan.
Ildan.
He's the student you were told that Rialdan is grooming to be the next
Indeed,
headmaster.
indeed.
The portals will be reopened shortly, so you'll be able to get to your office. I'm sorry for the disruption. But we needed to close the headmaster's portal, and that means closing them all and then reopening them one by one. We won't be long. And then she turns to Ildan. Show some respect. And he... Whatever. He storms out the front door.
Whatever. Zethris is a girl.
Zethris is a woman, yes. She is twin sister of Zarina, who is one of the administrative assistants.
So he's walked off now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why he's leaving in a huff. I calmed him down, but okay.
He's still frustrated.
He's irate, yeah, I know.
Oh, that's not right. Sorry.
What?
I've made a mistake, that's all. I'm just fixing it. I've said that she... I just carry on, as you are. I'll fix it.
Okay, I will turn to Zethris. Thank you for informing me. I'm assuming what's going on is beyond myself.
No.
To help.
There will be a meeting shortly.
Very well. Will I be able to get to my office beforehand?
Yes, possibly 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, now here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
How long will it take for me to quickly go shopping?
Longer than you've got.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Then I shall head...
Do you want to just wait for your office? It's in like 2 minutes.
Sure, I don't want to be loitering around, though.
Okay, well, so is everybody else, so I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Okay. Well, is Haldia loitering around?
No.
Oh man! All right then.
Not
Fine,
yet.
I'll guess
He
I'll
hasn't
just loiter around.
Okay. Yeah, you've seen a couple of adepts enter, but the maestros don't appear to be present. They entered before you, so you know they must be somewhere, but you don't know where. And at this moment, we come to Lena. Lena, you are in the kitchens when there is suddenly a bit of a kerfuffle outside in your main restaurant.
I'll simply wipe my hands, dust myself off, check myself in the mirror, and go back outside.
And what you see is Valerie standing by the front door, collecting payment from various people who all appear to be trying to exit simultaneously, even some who haven't even started eating.
What Valerie? What is the meaning of this? What is happening?
Something's happened in the city. Apparently, people need to leave now. So we are trying to take payment as well as we can, but it's complicated.
If I run to the back, Marcus is back there, correct?
Yep.
Is he currently have anything on? Does he have anything on?
Food! I'm like, why would he be naked? Yes, there are a few things cooking. But not everybody's leaving. Only the people, as you look at them, who appear to be the most important. Lord Embercrest is leaving. Yana is leaving. Royston is leaving. There are a couple of other people. One of them is a palace guard. One of them is Genkis, the head of the Dawn Guard. He's at the front of the queue, and he's like turning to Valerie and like, I really need to get out now.
Okay, so when I go back on the front, are any of my waitresses currently doing anything?
All of them are trying to take payment.
All right. I think I'll get in the mix and help her as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming you're going to go to Genkis first. He's the one right at the door trying to get out.
Yeah, precisely.
He's trying to pay with 100 gold from 1,000 gold for a meal that was probably about 150. He just wants to give it to you and get the fuck out.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I will come back later, Layla. Cheers. And then he just heads out. The princess is like trying to find like the right amount of money. You can see she's not accustomed to this amount of money.
It's fine for you. If I see Yana, I just tap on the shoulder. Please, dear, just go.
Thank you. I'll come back later and pay. And then she sort of heads out. And then one of the guards, the Furian guards, comes up to you and I haven't eaten yet. I've just had a coffee. I would like to come back and have breakfast as soon as I can. Can I pay you then? This is a regular. He comes every morning for breakfast.
No, it's fine. Okay. Yes, I was going to see if I can give him something real quick so he can have something to eat, a little something, and then he can...
You get the impression that he needs to get out now.
Okay, then,
and then
it's fine.
One of the lower members of the Dawn Guard comes up to you and... Mistress, might I have a word?
I look at Valerie. She has a notebook with her, right?
Yeah. And she's being fastidious with her notes and very
okay, good. So I just wanted to make sure she got that guy's name.
Yeah.
I need my money. I need my money. Okay.
Oh, just out of notice for you, his name is Kieran. K-I-R-A-N.
Kieran. Yes. I was like, I'm a guard. Cool.
No, Kieran.
Yeah. Owes me money.
Just like that.
Got it.
Yeah. And he comes every morning for breakfast, so he's a good
Okay,
customer.
that's fine.
And yes, this guard turns to you and... I suppose you haven't been apprised of what's happening in the city. Apparently a dragon has come.
A dragon, you say?
A metallic dragon. They've returned.
Metallic dragons? But aren't they?
Yes, they left 240 years ago to shepherd the metallic dragons away.
But forgive
He's
my...
more answering than I am.
I am. But usually, if I always get this wrong as a DM myself. But metallic dragons are usually good natured, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. Okay. I just remembering. So, who are they apprehending the dragon? Are they trying to speak to it? What's happening? Do you know?
I doubt it. I believe they've sent a... What's the word? Entourage.
An entourage. Oh. And you're going to go and along with them, or?
Enough. I just thought you should be aware of why your guests were leaving. Genghis told me before he left.
Would I be able to go? Probably not, right?
As Layla? Not a fucking chance. But you would be able to ascertain that first of all, Herzog has gone.
Okay.
He was on the gate today.
Got it.
You also might ascertain that William will probably get some information at some point. And if you wish to contact people and let them know, you might find something interesting out from Ruby.
Okay, I don't have to worry about not being out of the loop. Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for letting me. I didn't get your name.
Oh, pleasure. Nikos.
Nikos. Okay.
Why is that? That's a very weird spelling. That's a very weird spelling of Nikos. But yes, I don't know why I chose to do it like that, but hey. He's just a regular city guard, but he works on Herzog Alegni's shift.
Detail?
Yeah, on his detail, so that's why he might be relevant later on, so we'll name him down. But yeah, and he will turn to you. Did Jenkins pay for the meal, or do I need to do so?
No, he paid for the meal. It's fine.
Oh, how generous. He said he would take me out to breakfast. Bless him.
Oh, well, there you go.
Good master.
I wonder, but I've never seen Nikos before, right?
He can't afford to shop in. It comes for breakfast in the vintage ranch. Yeah, he's far off from these lands. He's a commoner. He would normally perhaps be able to eat at like the Drunken Duck or the Burping Bard if he was having like a really good day, but in general he probably has a bit of bread at home. And he's currently telling me that, ma'am, your pastries are exquisite.
Nikos, not to be too forward. If I know, like, I'll be managing most of the things at the ball, right? Just managing things normally. But I will have time for myself, I'm assuming.
Oh, very much so. Layla will be going as a guest. She wouldn't be managing the quiz. You would manage the food pre-ball, and then once the ball starts, you're a guest.
Now, looking at if I look over Nikos, what do I get from him in terms of
Loyal soldier.
I know he's below
hard on
the
his luck.
station.
Perhaps he's worked for longer than he should to achieve less than he should. But not out of his own incompetence, just out of the fact that nobles work in the guard. He's most definitely a commoner. You can see he's wearing his bestest dress, and yet he's the worst dressed customer in your shop. Yeah, he's quite formal, quite well spoken, but you can see it's an act. He's definitely grown up, a bit rough and ready.
Nikos, darling, have you ever attended a ball?
A ball. I guarded it once from the outside, about 6 years ago.
Tomorrow, do you have a shift?
Oh, in the morning. Yeah.
Would you like to attend?
It would be amazing, but I wouldn't have anything to wear.
I'll give him 300 gold. And something.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'll meet you there.
We shall.
That's... Wow. If I have any left, I'll come back for the pastries.
I hope to see you later.
He sort of looks absolutely gobsmacked. Like, this is more money than... Just to give you an idea, you've just given him 2 months' rent. Yeah, so he's like, whoa. But that's a moment. Yeah, he actually, ironically, lives 2 doors down from you in the Paupers District.
In the Paupers District?
Yeah, he's in the next little cluster of houses. And he has a child, but no wife.
I could use that. Okay.
That's probably the nicest thing that our evil party would ever do. I'm sure it has a purpose. And yeah, we will skip forward in time a little bit. After an hour and a half or so, I'm assuming you go back to dealing with the kitchen. It's probably a great time to brief your staff on tomorrow and all of what's going on. There is a large influx of guests, lucky you. And almost all of these appear to be members of the Furian Guard. And one gentleman comes up to you, and you know this man. This is Damak. He is not necessarily a high up, but one of the most self-important members of the Furian Guard. Very arrogant, but also very devout. And he comes up to you, and he's quite polite. He says, Madam, I don't suppose we might commandeer a small part of your restaurant.
By all means, sure.
Perhaps that side, by the window.
Yes. Juliet, please. Prepare a table for them.
You see that Valerie is already sort of commanding 2 people to sort of move tables together,
Okay,
so they can sit together. And oh, thank you, and some coffee if you might. Would be excellent. And
problem.
also one other thing, might I pay in advance?
Pray tell why. Oh, my praise, she's so disgusting. I want to leave at the first credit.
I don't want anybody else to pay.
Okay.
This has been paid for by... Oh, shit for bollocks. That's
Shit for
name,
bollocks, who is that?
I don't know.
Is it a noble?
This has been paid for by Skond.
Skond.
Skond is the head of the Furian Guard. He's like the absolute top. And he's paying for their breakfast, but clearly he doesn't want you to know that. He doesn't want his companions to know that, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands you a pouch. There is 75,000 gold. Which is probably about right for 25 people's breakfast. A good breakfast. And yeah, they begin to seat themselves, and you can hear...
Wait, 75,000, 7,500?
75,000.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
Food's fucking expensive at the Vintage Ranch. Like, fucking expensive. Especially if they're going to order wine and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't an absurd amount of money for you to receive for a 20-person meal. And also, you know that your costs of running are quite high as well. So
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just rent alone is a lot for like your position in the city. So yeah, it's sort of it makes sense. But anyway, and as they all sit down, a gentleman enters the establishment, wearing full plate mail armor, a shield on his back. No, it's not Scont, but it is one of his high priests. This is Irvon.
Irvon.
And he's very important to the Furion Guard. Gentlemen, and he turns to you, and Madam, thank you so much for allowing us the use of your establishment.
I'll lightly bow, and then like I'll flash my eyes over to Valerie, telling her to, get our best. My eyesight should tell her get our best on this. And,
She knows exactly what you're saying. She's like nodding, and she's sort of gesturing towards the kitchen, like maybe you want to do some cooking for them, like make sure it's like perfect, etc. And even from the kitchen, you can hear this man speak. His voice carries. Gentlemen, today we have been placed with a dilemma. The royals and the Magus Arcane welcome this dragon as friend. But we know that strife was caused by these dragons long ago. We cannot allow them simply to take over. They are not rulers anymore. Merely citizens. As Skond addresses the dragon and puts him in his place, perhaps we must understand that we do have a place in this hierarchy, and it is not below the dragons. And he continues onwards in this ilk, explaining to them that they need to be on their guard and ready for political movement. And as you look over, one particular paladin sort of stands and indicates to his friends that he's going to the restroom. But as he's walking to the restroom, he sort of looks you straight in the eye and he's like...
I just guess is Valerie right next to me? I'm assuming she is.
No, Valerie's out front, right?
I was just obviously somewhere.
Yeah,
so
Marcus
I'll
is preoccupied. He's not paying any attention.
I just look at at Marcos. It's like, please make sure these are perfect, right at the right time.
Always, man.
And I'll follow.
Okay. And as you sort of go past the restroom, so just behind the restroom where he's headed, you see Kisna.
Oh, okay.
And he nods to you and hands you a small scroll. And then you see him resume his paladin form and nod to you again. And obviously he was never going to say anything. And then waits for you to read.
Yeah. I'll unfurl.
As you open it up, the Furion Guard look to make a move on the Magus Arcane in light of this dragon arriving. Perhaps we might capitalize one way or the other, but I'm not sure. I'm sure these politics will be discussed at the ball.
Most definitely. Only thing I'm worried about is... Never mind.
And at the bottom it says, we have another man in the Furion Guard. And he gives the name of the paladin first. The paladin is called... Why have I put these in two different places? Palgrin. Palgrin. And the Shadow Veil is called Riloneth. Riloneth, his normal place of establishment is within the Burping Bard. But right now he's also assisting in this Furion Guard infiltration. You can see that he doesn't tend to, you get the impression that maybe he doesn't tend to turn up very often to the Furion Guard, but he has his role and he'll be watching.
So before he leaves, I would like to just write...
Wait, he can hear.
I know. But I didn't want to say it out loud, that's kind of why.
No, it's alright, you're miles away from everyone else, there's babbling going on.
Okay. What color dragon?
And then he just simply, in illusory script in the air, just from silver.
Silver. Okay. Thank you, Kisna.
And then he sort of turns back and in illusory script below, he It says, the dragon's name is Uthorim. You might all want that note. Yes, Uthorim. And yeah, you will continue to provide for your paladin's lunch as he continues to talk about the sort of importance of the coming of the dragon. No mention is made of the Magus Arcane at all, except for that they don't like that the Magus Arcane are greeting this dragon as a friend. Mostly just of how dragons are self-important and shouldn't be ruling everyone.
During this time, is it possible that I can maybe overhear? Well, my waitresses are there.
You can hear everything.
I can hear everything. Okay.
And these paladins tend to talk in loud voices like they're addressing the masses, you know.
Do they say at all where the silver dragon is currently staying?
You get the impression it's outside the city, like literally outside the city.
Just out there? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
And we come to Cassandra. Very briefly, Cassandra, when you headed out the Magus Arcane, where did you go?
Probably just went back to the house at that point.
Excellent, fantastic. As you get back to the house, you see a elven girl, bow on back, daggers either side, playing a penny whistle, and she is sat on your doorstep.
Hello. How may I help you, little one?
Lost Shimakobe still frequent this house?
I believe so.
I have
He's looking.
I have a message for him. My name is Starling. The message comes from Kiliana. The Sisterhood are interested in his political leanings. If he so wishes, he may make contact with Kiliana. She is residing at the place that I can't remember the name of. The Golden Griffin.
Okay, I shall relay the message for you. Not sure you're gonna get what you want out of that, but...
I want nothing. And good day.
Good day.
And Starling leaves. At this point, we'll let you go back in, and we'll come to Losk. Losk, where are you going? What do you think?
I'm going to the temple.
Yeah. You're at the temple. Where are you going now? You're there. Sorry, because that's where we left you, right?
I am bursting through the front door.
Excellent. You enter the large vaulted chambers of the huge temple. There is two priests in the temple. One is sort of resetting the seats and stuff after the ceremony, and the other is dusting off the altar.
I'm looking for Sebastian.
Father Sebastian is currently otherwise detained. Perhaps the Lady Sorella?
I guess I'll just come back another time.
Sorry, he's outside talking to Dragon. So I can't do much about that. He's a fairly integral part of that discussion. Should I tell him you called?
No, he's the one who wanted to see me.
Ah. In the eve, Father Sebastian tends to have a little more time, if you wish to visit them.
Well, if he's not here now, he's not going to see me ever again.
That is unfortunate, but... Well, Father Sebastian was asked to speak with a dragon today. It's not a very often occurrence. I'm sure he will return fairly soon. I apologize, sir.
I don't know if you caught it, but it was a very long sigh.
I got it. He just sort of looks at you, sort of in a supplicatory way, and just sort of, I'm so sorry, sir. I wish there was something I could do for you. I hope you have a pleasant day.
I'll wait for 15 minutes, and if he doesn't show up, I'll leave.
1-5?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to show up in that time.
Alright, I'll wait, and then he doesn't show up, and then I leave.
Okay. And where do you head?
I guess to the house.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And as you get to the house, Cassandra is downstairs, or rather, Torian is downstairs. It's fair to
Oh
say.
no, I'm at my house.
Oh, your home. Right. Okay. Yes, you take the key and you open it.
Why is Torian in my house?
No, he's not. He was in the house. Yep. So as you open the door, you see a note on the floor in front of you, and a large hallway of pale wood. It is unadorned and undecorated.
What does the note say?
It's a letter from Amon. And it simply says, hiring costs will be paid for by the princess. She wishes you to be well. You may do so at the courthouse. If you wish to hire a decorator, I'm sure that you know well where to find one, but I do recommend a certain lady, Esther. Esther. Is available. Should you inquire at the courthouse, I'm sure she'll be located for you. I do hope you find these accommodations appropriate. And your father wishes me to deliver a parcel to you.
Oh, great.
Please, will you let me know via the courthouse if you wish to receive it?
It's probably a bomb that he set for me, but...
I doubt Amon would pass that on.
Alright. Well, how do I, link my house to the house?
You could do that yourself, but you would need to go in disguise. You would need to go to Helena's.
Disguise is literally no problem
No,
for
of course.
me.
But it's more a case of whatever happens, you're going to be walking in as somebody who's not known at Helena's. So you're just going to attempt to be someone shady. Is that that the plan to get in? Okay, cool. You all shared the password to Helena's. You were told that the password for next week is Laura.
It's what?
Laura. It's always a girl's name. This week it's Laura. I believe it was Diane last week. Are you going to head to Helena's to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. As you head into Helena's, you see a large bugbear to your left. It sort of gives you the once over, and what do you look like?
I look like a peasant girl, wearing a dress with my shift weave. Very horn up.
Okay. He gives you the once over and gestures towards the bar. Behind the bar, you see a half-orc serving. He looks quite gruff. You see a few people dotted around, paupers all just drinking.
Right. So who would I
You need to
contact
go
about this?
downstairs, and at the back is a tiefling who guards the door. And you admittedly give him the password, and you're able to head down. As for who you ask down there, I don't think any of you know. But you would inquire of people down there. Probably the downstairs bartender would be the best person to send you the right way.
I will approach the bartender.
Okay, so first of all, you'd have to approach the tiefling. The tiefling looks at you and...
Right.
Yes.
Laura.
Very well. Ma'am... I'm going to assume that you are not what you seem. Please head down. And as you get downstairs, you are approached by someone else. You are approached by Ferenc. Ferenc, sorry, I don't know who's written Ferenc. Yes, you're approached by Ferenc, who is, he's the interpreter. He's known as, he's the go-getter, the knowledge dealer. Ma'am, I don't believe I've seen you here before. Perhaps we might take a seat at the table. You get the impression he's not really asking.
Be able to change it to my normal form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do that. Shift weaves comes off, normal form activated.
Aha. Well, that makes slightly more sense, although you're the Shimakobe-san, you're not.
Although what?
The Shimakobe-san.
Oh, unfortunately, yes.
Interesting that we might see you here. What can we do for you?
Well, I've been traveling around with some companions, and they're staying in this dirty little shack. I was hoping to connect to my house that was gifted to me to that house.
Excellent. Do you have the address for the shack, as you put it?
It's in Rat Alley.
And it's also next door. It's literally next door. Okay. Ephraim, the pig farmer, and Herzl, the guard. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Yes, I had mentioned that this might be possible. It does come at an expense, although the expense is payable in installments. The first one will need to be paid up front and is 3,000 rubles, and you'll pay 3 more installments as such. Is this acceptable? I will let you take this out of party money if you want. So you can just take it out of what you will receive from Zamisk.
Okay.
But for now, you would say you give him 3,000, and then Zamisk will give that back to you later, and whatever. Provided you want to go through with it.
Yeah. How often are the installments?
The work should be done within 4 nights. 1 payment in 2 nights hence, and 1 payment 2 nights after that. We will collect from Ratali if that is appropriate.
Should
Unless
I just
you wish to
pay
come
it all
here and
at
pay.
once?
Of course you can. Though such trust is usually unwise in this place. However, you may have chosen the one person you can trust, of course, and he will
Well,
at you.
I prefer not to come down here again.
That I
No
can
offense, I
understand.
just-
However, there is, if I may, I think the mistress would like to meet you, if you'd be so willing.
Uh-oh. Why does everybody want to meet me? Alright, so that was 3 installments, was it?
So it's 9,000 overall.
Okay.
Excellent. And
Yep,
Samus
I'll
will
just
re-provide
give it
that
to
later.
him.
Cool. Yeah, and he gestures to... There's a path down that looks like it's fairly frequently used, and there is a door to the left of the path down. And he gestures to the door and takes a key off his hip. May I guide you?
Sure.
And he unlocks the key and unlocks the door and opens the door, and behind which is just a simple purple portal. Please, head on through. Fear not, it is quite safe.
I'll head on through.
Okay, and as you do so, you stand in the Underdog. You see an adamantine gate wrought of crystal and adamantine, very elegant and curved in design behind you. And before you see a fabulous house made of towering spires, each glowing in fairy fire. It's dark down here, but your eyes are able to adjust. And there is a drow standing before the doorway. Looks at you. Might I take your name, sir?
Lost.
Loss. Very well. Do you know why you have been sent?
Nope. Some mistress lady.
Ah, you're here to see the Lady Helena. Very well. Please, come with me. And he opens the doors to one of the most lavish buildings you have ever seen. There is like black marble flooring, there is silver and gold spiraling all over the walls. There's ornate spider webs wrought across the walls in gold, with diamonds sparkling at the center. He leads you down this long corridor and takes a right, and he enters a room where there is a drow sitting upon an iron, gold, and adamantine throne. She has long, luscious white hair and eyes of the deepest red. And she looks over at you. You would be lost, is that correct?
Wanted to see me?
I gather Ferenc sent you. Believed I might find you of interest.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed.
Perhaps. But I find you of interest for another reason. You are you not, in the process of beginning a romantic rendezvous with the Princess Yana, are you not?
Say rendezvous, but perhaps a romantic interest.
I will pay you 350,000 rubles to poison him at the Baltimore. Poison her at the Baltimore.
May I ask why you want to do that?
She seeks to push the drow out of the city. Her political
Reasonable.
leanings are not acceptable.
Yeah, I get that. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to speak with my companions about it. Frankly,
yes.
I just wanted to see if I could woo her, you know, to test my skills. And I'm sure that they wanted to use her at some point, so I would need to ask them.
Excellent. Well, to put it simply, we do not wish to tread on the toes of those that have other strands of power within the city. If they wish to replace her with a replica, that is acceptable.
Will I still get paid?
Yes.
Alright.
As long as
I'll-
when she is returned, replaced, she no longer wishes to push the drow out the city. Alternatively, of course, you could persuade her not to push the drow out the city, and I will pay you 200,000.
I was looking to persuade her. My methods are unmatched.
She's taken quite a liking to you, they say. 200,000 if you persuade her to leave the drow alone, 350,000 if she is dead by tomorrow night.
Alright. Unfortunately, I don't think I would be able to poison her, as I'm sure I would be arrested and murdered on sight as soon as she hits the floor. And
The drow have poisons that take time. She would die in her bed later that night.
intriguing. Again, I'm gonna need to speak to my companions about it, but
Excellent.
she can be replaced very easily.
Kitharis, please. And a gentleman sort of recedes out the shadows and hands you a vial of black liquid. Should you decide to be of assistance. If not, you may keep the poison for free.
My monkey brain is telling me to drink it. I know it's a terrible idea.
That is a
but, like,
terrible
there's
idea.
just-
You will be dead at
there's
midnight.
There's just something within my monkey brain that's telling me, ooh, drink weird liquid.
You can add this to your inventory. It's called Midnight Tears.
Okay.
Yes, it's stolen from Maxos. Yes, and at this moment she sort of gestures towards the door and you may leave. And
Excellent.
Ferenc will return your payment. Aiding you is only beneficial to us. Please, send your friends of the darker skin my greetings.
Will do.
And
I will head
tell
off.
Samisk he has been missed.
Again, will do.
Okay. And you head up. Ferenc will re-hand you the 9,000 gold when you get to the top of the stairs. And
Alright,
where
so,
will you head from there?
well, I feel like I've done everything that I wanted to do for today.
Okay.
So for the rest of the session, Laska's gonna go back to his house
Mm-hmm.
and read his tomes.
Okay, you're going to be sitting on the floor or...
Yes, the floor.
Okay,
I
brilliant.
mean, it's very natural for him to sit
Yep,
on the floor,
Yep,
because...
excellent. And over time you can start purchasing some furniture. Yeah, you take that offer. Put that sock down, goddammit. Sorry, I'm just watching Kira's dogs. Yeah, there isn't much of a session left, so we shall leave you there. Cassandra, you are at home, correct?
Yes.
Might you be considering a mask for the masquerade ball?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I need a dress too.
Yes, so a Divine Elegance is where everybody's shopping. Assuming you would like to head there?
Yes. why
Okay.
not?
And what kind of dress did you have in mind?
A silky curve, one that'll show off my curves,
Okay, excellent.
but elegant still.
As you walk into Divine Elegance, there is a girl behind the counter. She looks horrendously stressed. And she looks up at you. Oh, good afternoon. Ma'am, what can I do for you?
with a ball.
Oh, goodness. It may have to be something we already have in stock. I'm really sorry, we are so backed up right now. Perhaps I might show you a selection?
Perhaps I might do my dealings elsewhere if I don't find anything privy to me.
Be that as it may, you would be underdressed if you were not dressed in divine elegance. Perhaps the next ball you might purchase earlier. Anyway, here, and she shows you a selection of silk dresses. Each one is a different shade. They're all relatively well fitted, and there are quite a few in your size. Should you choose one of these, it will fit you tightly, but do remember you also have an incredibly large wardrobe in the house. So, you know, it's not necessarily an emergency if you can't find the right dress here. I'm fairly sure most of the dresses in the house were purchased from Divine Elegance once upon a time. So yeah, it's not going to be a big deal, but there are plenty of shades. Is there a particular colour you were looking for?
Do you have a description for this number? Because I don't remember what she looks like.
Sorry, I couldn't hear a word of that one.
I said, did you have a description for Cassandra? Because I don't remember what she looks like.
Yeah, fuck me. Cassandra is 5'8" in height. She has long blonde hair, deep blue eyes, and is elven. She is relatively slight figure and has very long legs.
A white one with
Good.
sequins of some sort.
There are a few white silk dresses. Some of them are accented with sequins. One that particularly takes your eye is accented with what looks to be thread of gold. Although you might look a bit like you're trying to impersonate an angel.
I'll look at that one for sure.
It is, yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a dress. And the girl looks at you and... We do have a masquerade mask of an angel, should you wish to purchase that to go with this dress.
Gold.
When you're either cutting out or too far away.
I said sold.
Oh, there we go. Fantastic. That will cost you 1,200 rubles.
Here you are.
Oh, okay. I thought we were about to unsold. Excellent. The dress, if you'd like to head into the fitting room, just to make sure it fits well, otherwise I might make some adjustments for you. The mask will be given to you now, and she goes out to a back room while you head to the fitting room. Try it on. You will find it a perfect fit. You look quite fabulous in it. For convenience sake. And you may take it with you as you leave. As you may also take the Mask of the Angel. The Mask of the Angel is basically it's eyes of gold with sort of a porcelain face around it. And then there's an extension that's almost see-through of crystal, and above that is a golden halo.
Interesting.
It definitely matches your dress. Yeah, and you're able to take those home.
Alright.
Layla has a lot of dresses and some masks that she's worn in the past. Would she want to purchase something for tomorrow?
Oh, I think she would take something from the inside. However, does she have something that's a bit like maybe black lace, red, crimson?
Very much so. That's quite up Layla's alley. She likes something a little bit daring.
I figured.
But you don't have any masks from the past that would suit that.
Could I possibly get a raven's mask?
Very much so. And at some point in the afternoon, when your paladins have left you alone, you'll be able to head to Divine Elegance and purchase that for 200 rubles.
I will do so.
Okay. And we come to William. William, as you are, as the portals are reopened, you are able to head to your office.
Okay, I will head into my office. And I will sit at my desk. No, I won't, because that's not how you do with crystal balls, because you're a dick. So I will stand at the pedestal and try and see if I can see someone.
Okay, give me a performance check.
I'm like in my head, I'm doing it like Saruman does with
The Paladin.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That
it's
is
just
very
like
much
one
how
hand.
I'm envisioning. That's very much how I'm envisioning it too. Give me a
Great.
performance check.
Performance. Jeez. Oh, I have a +5 for performance. I don't know how.
Because charisma.
Oh, that's a nat 20 for a 25.
Perfect. You are able to utilize crystal ball properly. Please give me an Arcana check.
That
That's
is
pretty
a
good.
21.
I can actually hear your dice rolling over there, as well as in my ears. Okay. Yeah, for a first time, this is not bad. You have absolutely no control over what it's showing you.
Are we surprised that William is excelling? And no.
Perhaps. But you have no control over what it's going to show you.
Sure, I'm probably going to see
you're
it
not
or
experienced
something.
No. You first of all see an image of a boy that you recognize to be Ilden. He stands in what appears to be a garden of some sort. And he's repetitively casting firebolts at the ground. But it's powerful. Like, it packs a fucking punch.
And yeah, he's not doing any damage to himself.
No, he's casting it sort of outwards at the ground in front of him. He's burning a hole in the ground.
And no one's around.
There is, in the background, you can hear a distressed woman asking him to calm down.
Okay.
But the scrying doesn't show that.
Very hot-tempered he is when he misses his lessons, isn't he?
You get the impression that maybe he's angry about something else.
Well, I guess that.
Yeah. You remember him saying in the that he had a meeting with Rialdan.
Yeah, that he wanted to talk to him.
Your image then flickers, and you see a face. And Aldir looks back at you. Ah. You are learning the arts of divination.
Can I talk back to him?
Yeah.
Well, you certainly showed me the usefulness of it today.
Excellent. Might I guide you in something you wish to see?
By all means, take the lead.
Oh. He was more offering, is there something specific you wanted to see?
No, but I'm trying to classily flirt with him.
Okay, he's trying to help you out so that you can work out how to see what you want to see.
I want to see what the headmasters are doing, what his dragons are doing, all of that. But I'm assuming I'm not good enough.
I want to see the dragon. He's
No,
going to guide you in learning how to see what you want to see.
Okay. I'd like to see what the headmasters are doing.
Yeah, surprise curiosity. So, what you need to do is not focus on what you want to see, but on how you want to perceive it. So, for example, are you above the headmasters? Do you look through their eyes? Do you just hear what they're saying? Do you perhaps stand next to them? This is the first step of envisionment.
Okay, William Hill isn't going to say it like this, but I'm going to say it like this. I want to see it as if I am watching a cartoon. Like, I want to see character angles. I want to see the camera cut to a different angle.
That's not possible. You will need to choose a single viewpoint.
And just like in front of them.
Okay.
Like, I want them to be facing me, I guess.
Excellent. And the second thing you need to envision is the faces of those you see.
Okay, well, those faces.
And as you do so, you see yourself looking down at them from quite a height. Give me an insight check.
Not what I asked for, but okay.
It never gives you what you ask for.
Then why ask me?
Because it's a starting point.
Okay, that's a 14.
You realize that you are looking through the eyes of the dragon.
Oh, Jesus.
Down at them. And you see the 3 headmasters, you see the king, you see both princesses, Yana and the Lady Azeldra. You see Genkis of the Dawn Guard, and Skond of the Furion Guard. And you see that elf, who you haven't met yet. You see an elf with white hair and golden eyes. And the person talking right now as well, who is in front of them all, on one knee, with his head bowed. William Hale will know that this is Father Sebastian. He's speaking very gently. We will do all we can to help you. I understand that these trials are difficult for you all, but you must understand that we are at war. And you hear a rumbling sound from inside you. What languages does William speak?
What, sorry?
What languages does William speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, Abyssal, and the mother tongue of our people.
Okay. You don't understand a word of what the dragon says.
Of course
not. But you hear the response. It might be trivial to you, but to us it is everything. We will do what we can. And we will... And then it cuts out. And Haldir's face floats before you. You will learn to maintain concentration for longer. But you're being disrupted by something out loud. I hope you enjoyed your lesson. I must answer the same call.
Well, don't forget our private lesson later.
Excellent. I won't. And then as you come to from this concentration, you hear, what is it like? It's like a voice over a tannoy. It's being broadcast all over the Magus Arcane. All adepts and maestros to report to the main hall. All adepts and maestros to report to the main hall. And it just goes on and on and on and on. It's approximately 2:20 in the afternoon.
Okay, I will. I suppose we'll go to the main hall.
You better. When you get to the main hall, which is through Rialdan's portal, but out the other way, like backwards instead of forwards, behind you when you get through the portal, and you see that everybody is sat in rows, all the maestros, all the adepts, even those who would normally be working in Carthan or Vanhania, etc. Everybody has been called here.
Yeah.
And standing at the front is Keldar, who is the administrator. Greetings all, I'm sorry for the disruptions today. Lessons will be resuming this afternoon, but in the meantime, I have a message here from Rialdan for you all. In your spare time, you are requested to make 1 hour of study on the behaviors of dragons. Primarily those of the metallic nature, though chromatic studies will be helpful. Each one of you is required to start studying the language of the Draconics immediately. And in your classes, each one of you will speak of the ways in which dragons may use the magics that we do. So, for adepts of enchantment, you will teach of how dragons may use enchantment against you. And you will continue to do this until you are told otherwise. Thank you for your time and your patience. Lessons will resume after 4 p.m. You may all return to your halls. And then he just literally reads exactly the same message again. And then does so again.
Alright.
Yeah. You get the impression as different people are coming in and out, they're just hearing the message and leaving.
Sure. Okay, then I will stand. How long until my next lesson?
4 p.m, so you've got an hour and a half.
Okay, great. I will take this opportunity to go shopping.
Fantastic, and I want you to do that as fast as you fucking can. Where are you going?
Okay, great. So, I want to go to the pet shop.
Okay. Yep. So you get there, and Ruby is standing outside the shop.
Okay. I will go up to her.
Yeah.
Um,
Bear in mind, this is also Samisk, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Just checking.
yeah, I'll go to her and say, good afternoon. Right?
You have returned. Are you seeking a pet, or did you have other matters to attend to?
No, a pet.
Excellent. We're having a bit of a disaster inside right now. Might I ask what it is you're seeking?
Something small.
Mm.
Something not easily noticeable.
Hmm. Perhaps a snake, perhaps a spider, perhaps a rat. Perhaps a small fairy.
How is a fairy not noticeable? Well, yeah, but aren't they like loud?
No.
I like mischievous.
Yes, but they're capable of being quiet when told to. But anyway,
No, I'll take a spider. Thank you.
excellent. I have somebody who I think you would get on with well. Please excuse the noise. I will come out shortly. And Samus opens the door, and you just hear like a roar. And down! Oh, please get down! Have I told you? Oh. And as you peer in, like there is a griffin. It's about 1.5 foot in height, like flying around the room in circles like a mad thing. He sort of Samus just ducks in, goes to the back room, and comes out to you with a silvered cage, with a fine webbed front. This is Dusk.
What does Dusk look like?
Do you wish to make your acquaintance now?
I do.
And then he turns the cage to you and removes the silver door. Inside you see a spider of... It's like silver and black. It's black with like silver webbing across in threads. And silvery legs. Almost looks metallic, but isn't.
Awesome.
Hanging from a silver thread from the top of the cage, and you hear the voice in your head. I see we are to be partnered. You weave webs of your own very well.
How big is he?
4 inches across leg span.
That means nothing. So like,
Yeah, about that.
who would have thought it? Okay, great. He's speaking to me telepathically.
Very much so.
He can't. Unless I allow him.
Well, I'm assuming you're allowing him to. That's why you said you would make your acquaintance. That's why I asked you the question, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to.
Well, sure. Well, I'm just curious about how that works, to be honest. Like, do I get a message like this person sending you a friend request?
No, you sense that...
Feel it.
You sense that somebody is trying to contact you, and you sense who it is.
Okay, great. Yeah, so sure, I'll allow it. It would appear so.
Perhaps we shall weave webs together. Masters of secrets. Collectors of lies.
Indeed.
Dusk and midnight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I said indeed we will.
Okay. Excellent. Might I come aboard?
I usually go to dinner first, but sure.
Dinner would be pleasant. And you see a sort of vague image flit across your mind of a fly trapped in a web, and then he will climb up your leg and where? Into your breast pocket?
Oh my goodness. That was terrifying.
I know you hate spiders, but you chose to purchase one, so fucking have it.
No, yeah, in my my clothing, yeah, like in the inside pocket there.
An inside pocket, excellent. And he will begin to weave a little web inside and feel comfortable.
Do I get to keep the cage?
Yes. Though
Right,
it would be
okay.
very bad manners to put him in there.
Oh no, I just want to have it in my house.
Yes, okay, good. Yes, it would be very bad manners to put your pet back in a cage.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so I'll hold the cage.
Yeah.
And then I need to go to Divine. What's it called? Divine Elegance? Is that the clothing shop?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
I'd
might
like to
want
go
to
there.
pay Samask first. It
Okay,
does
fine,
have
I'll pay.
operating costs. And it will cost you 2,000 rubles. I mean, this is very weird, right? Because you're still going to get like 1,200 of that back, but shared between the group as Samisk's pay, but everybody else had to pay for theirs, so you have to pay for yours.
I'll pay.
Yeah.
I'll tap my card.
Yep.
And yeah, I will go to Divine Elegance.
You scurry on over to Divine Elegance, and as you enter, you'll see one very stressed Mary. Yes, for the ball.
Yes.
Something we already sell, or something custom made, because frankly, we're fairly tied up, but we can make some suit adjustments if you need. What can I do for you?
Did you say her name's Mary?
Mary. M-E-R-R-Y.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the Hobbit.
Yeah, I figured. I will... 1 second, let me just quickly read something. Okay, I will use one of my sorcery points to do this subtly.
Yep.
And I will cast a spell. She'll need to make a wisdom saving throw.
What are you casting?
Suggestion.
Okay.
So work.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna telepathically say to her, how do you suggest someone do this? It is in utmost importance to not only I, but Rialden, that my suit be tailor-made from scratch, and you will do so.
Yeah, You're asking the shop assistant to sew you a suit.
A tailor-made one.
You want her to sew your suit.
Well, no, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I'm going to say that she will do her best. But it's not actually her that makes that decision.
Oh, you really made this difficult, James.
Sorry. I mean, she's not the shop owner and she's not in charge of the seamstresses.
Why am I even talking to her?
Because the shop owner is busy sewing. But she will do her best to convince somebody. What you can, however, definitely convince her that you've done is pay.
Okay, sure. And also, by the way, I've already paid.
What do you mean you've paid? Oh, right, and that's what you're saying to her. Okay, yeah, and what does this suit look like?
I
Okay.
love that you just told them to say that, and then immediately like, wait a minute, you didn't pay.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I figured that I was telling you you would be able to include that in the spell, and then you included it in the spell, and that confused me because I was telling you it was already included. But yeah, go on.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, so I'm gonna put a picture in the channel.
Fantastic, and you will have to describe it in detail next episode.
Okay.
So you will have a week to practice.
Well, no, you could always just put it on the stream.
Yes, alongside 10 other images and 9 cameras. Just let me get that in hand. It's fine. I can look at it over the week. What's important is that she will meet your specifications and do her best. What mask would you like with it?
Oh my god, this is so annoying. I would like a. So I wanted to go from like there, like only half the face.
That's standard.
Yeah. And I want it to be black with light yellow accents and
Are you breaking custom? You're not gonna impersonate something or someone?
no, it would be custom.
Okay. So you're breaking the standard customs because everybody at the Masquerade Ball usually has a character. So they would normally be a person or a being. So, for
How nice
example,
for
a
them.
Raven or... Okay, so you're breaking... That's what I'm just checking. You're breaking custom and you're
Yeah,
going
I
to
am
something
break-
that's just interesting. Yeah, okay. And I will leave you to describe the rest of that next session. That's how you look, okay?
Okay, yeah. And I don't know where the picture is, so I'll send it at
That's
some point. And then I will quickly scurry back home, drop off the cage,
Mhm.
and then I will go to my lesson.
Okay. You have a lesson today with 6 pupils, but only 3 of them turn up. Today's been a busy day. One of your students is Garrick, who is a possible psionic. One of them is Methyl, who is an alchemist with some unusual abilities occasionally. And one of them is Yelvik, who's a weak mage who is a son of the landsmiths, who's a bit of a bully to everybody else and a bit of a prick, but he's a bit useless. It's fair to say your lesson goes fairly calmly and peacefully. Nothing really happens or occurs. And afterwards you are able to go home and rest. And I'm going to say that that is how we will end, is with the rest of you having your evenings as you wish. Yes.
So
Am I ever getting my meeting?
No. I'm going to cut it, and we're going to resume it at a future date. I'm really sorry, but I need to not overrun much further. We're already at 3:20. So, I will just delay Lornock's meeting as per Dragon turned up.
Okay,
And you can
whatever,
turn
it's
up to
fine.
another session. Yeah,
Reminding
sorry,
you.
it's just... There's just too much to pack in too short a time.
so
Good.
we don't.
I was just reminding you of it anyways.
Yeah, sorry, Lavi?
Sorry, there's some all preparations. Like, should I just ask the party out of session?
You will be able to coordinate outfits and where you're going and stuff, but
No,
the ball...
like me killing.
Yes. We won't begin at the ball.
Okay.
There will be a bit of session beforehand for both the good and the evil parties separately, and then you will go to the ball. That is
Okay.
when you will be able to coordinate outfits and what you're doing at the ball. Because I need to give you guys a massive sort of list of things that will be happening at the ball that you may or may not wish to prep for. So yeah, there's a lot to be done pre-ball.
Okay.
Speaking of which, next week we will start at 7 p.m. EST. No, 8 p.m. EST? 7 p.m. 7 p.m. EST on Tuesday. Moon, is that going to be too late for you? Or can you make an exception for one week?
What is the time?
7 p.m. EST on a Tuesday.
7 p.m. If I'm in EST, I can't do it.
Okay.
There's no exceptions I can make unless I'm not actually working the next day because I wake up at 4 in the morning.
Right. Okay. We will do
I
our...
won't know until close to next week.
Okay, we'll do our best to coordinate in a manner that allows everybody to be there at a time that's appropriate for them.
I can show up for an hour for that.
That
I'm
might
in
be
Eastern.
that might be the accommodation we need to make, is you showing up at least for the prep for the ball, even if you then your character gets sort of role played for you for the session. In terms of
If
what
if
your
I'm in
roles are.
Eastern, that's as much as I can do for
Yeah,
sure.
that's absolutely fine.
It has to be on time.
We will do as much coordination as we can to get everybody there. Obviously, I've got a good party that are used to starting at 8 p.m. EST, and an evil party that are used to starting at 4 p.m. EST, and the
If I get lucky,
good
I'm in
party
mountain
have
time still.
yeah, the good party have commitments during the day that run too late, and the evil party have commitments the following day, which is why they run earlier. So yeah, it's going to be a bit complex, but it's going to be the first time we've tried to get the good and evil party together. So hopefully that will go well. Is there anything that majorly needs concluding before 8 p.m. on this day in role-playing time that didn't get concluded in this session?
I would like to pick up something real quick.
Yep.
Run back to the people, grab sleight of hand expertise, because I think I already have proficiency.
8,400.
Okay, and that's it for me.
Cool. That's fine.
Oh, I have something.
If it's shopping, you guys will be able to do so out of session.
No, it's not shopping.
Okay.
So after my class, before I go home, I want to take Haldia into my private bathroom and fucking.
Yeah, right. That's not going to happen. How dear will be. You will have to work that relationship over time. It's not just going to spontaneously, magically happen.
Oh, then I don't care.
Oh, okay, fine.
Oh,
Neither does how dear.
What's that?
Yeah, you'll have to work that over time.
You-
Luvon, is there anything else that you needed to conclude before 8 p.m. in the evening? Nope, you're good. Fantastic. And Cassandra, is there anything else you need to conclude before 8 p.m. this day?
No, I just got something to ask after session.
Cool. Okay, fantastic. All right, then. In that case, we will be ending. So let's go to our MVPs. Let's go to Josh. Picked at random.
Always catches him off guard.
I'll start. I'm prepped for this. A couple of interesting moments. I love the concept of me and Kira doing girl talk in roleplay. That was great fun. I loved the fact that we have missed meetings today. There were so many meetings that could have happened and didn't. William trying to visit people that aren't there. Portals being closed. Lonok's meeting that never happened. Lost going to the temple to see somebody who wasn't present. In hindsight, having a last session before the ball where there was something dramatic going on that you guys weren't involved in that required a large number of important NPCs possibly wasn't the best decision I've ever made in my life. But it happened. So this was the meeting of lost meetings. It was great fun to hear so many people go, I'll stand around for 3 minutes. I'll walk there really slowly. I'll wait. Just constantly throughout the session. So that was my MVP. I will steal the name from Josh and I'll go to Kira.
Yeah, hurrah for me having a franchise, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we've chosen some good money maker there. The Vintage Ranch is a very successful business. I look forward to it.
Yep, and I can't wait to see how I fuck up Nikos.
I can't wait to see what you're going to do with your house. We haven't got there yet, but you do have a home.
Oh yeah, no.
As Layla, we'll have to work that one out. I come to Lavi.
My MVP. Hold on, sorry, what?
Oh, also a major shout out for ransacking his room and then giving him a present.
Well, come on. All right. Okay, my MVP is probably the fact that Lost currently knows 14 languages.
Sick. That is pretty good. Yeah. I wonder how many of them are still spoken in Sogravia. That's interesting.
I purposely chose some dead ones so that he could like speak it in secret.
That's really cool.
So yeah, I did want to visit Sebastian, but Lost doesn't want to. So my MVP was just Lost saying, "Fuck that guy." Also snatching the salami from Tori.
Oh, the handful of meat was beautiful. I like that. Moon.
And
oh, sorry, go on.
Finally, it's gonna be Josh trying to fuck a guy, and that's it.
Of course. Moon.
Deciding that Cassandra is gonna look like an angel at the ball.
That's gonna be a pretty good look. It's gonna be really interesting as well because somebody's coming as a devil. So that'll be a nice partnership to see.
Just the thought of the adventures of Midnight and Dusk.
Yeah, definitely. I'd forgotten that I'd called yours Midnight. I thought it was Jamal's that was called Midnight. So I hadn't thought that would cross an episode, but it's kind of cool actually, Dusk and Midnight in the same session. So, bloody hell, that's
yeah. Just Josh, I have a spider too, and he has adorned himself on my chest as like a necklace.
Yeah, no, the spider's a cool concept. I mean, for you guys, because secrets and lies, right? Josh, your MVP.
Getting Dusk.
Getting Dusk. Okay. Good. Yeah, I mean, I know today's session was a lot of sort of... It might have felt a bit like frantic rushing. The problem is that we needed both parties to get to the ball. And, yeah, we had to squeeze a little bit this end. I'm sorry that we couldn't overrun for much longer, but frankly, I'll be dead on my feet if we do. Yeah, we are going to end there. So if you guys would like to say goodbye, we're not going to be raiding. I'm not going to raid somebody if I don't have time to say hello. So yeah, if you guys would like to say goodbye, we shall see you all next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.